I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut. Yeah. Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop until
you are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
You gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so past it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight and I said that guy can be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
With the gap, Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB show.
What up? We are in the building. It is Merciless Monday, and I take no mercy today, boy. I'm taking no mercy. So make sure you pound that like, subscribe, become a member today, because we are live with a loaded lineup. Big Matt McChesney, Shaun King, and Jeff Nadu all join us to break down all things real on the realest show on planet Earth. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member of our Slap Nation Discord, and plus, we'll make another announcement here in a minute. But let's get into it. It's Merciless Monday. And make sure that you head on over to winnable.com/slap-picks today. And join us as we have Matt McChesney's pick, Shaun King, and Jeff Nadu picking all things from UFL conference title games coming up this weekend to NHL finals to NBA finals. We got it all right here. Short, fat, skinny, tall on the realest show on planet Earth. Let's dive into it, though. A very, very tell-good, feel-good story that I want to start off with, since I'm such a touchy-feely guy and I'm so in tune with my feelings and all those things. I had to touch on something, man, that is a very, very great story. It's like a 30 for 30 in the making. It's like something right out of the movies, and I'm going to dive into it. We're saddened today by the Birmingham Southern D3 baseball team. They lost last night, which is not big news to any of you that don't know or haven't followed this story. They lost last night 11-10 to the Wisconsin Whitewater team. And a lot of you don't know what's going on in here, but let me explain it real quick, eloquently as I can. 2 days ago, Birmingham Southern hits a walk-off home run in the D3 World Series. And that's not significant to many of you, but what a story this has made sports into. This is what makes sports great, regardless of which level. This D3 baseball team today is 168 years old. Birmingham Southern has shut down its college due to financial instability. Then they do something straight out of Major League, the movie. Yes, the one with Charlie Sheen. And they gave the school, they gave the president, and everyone who could give a shit less a big old shit sandwich to eat. They will now play one more game, which was last night, and the school don't exist anymore. They've played for the last 2 weeks in the D3 World Series without a school, without an academic institution. But they said screw it. They started a GoFundMe for $100K. It allowed them to stave off death and continue to play in the D3 World Series. And many of these kids could have entered the portal, transferred during the season after the news they received. But they said, no, fuck it, let's ride. And now it may be the coolest story of the year. They played Wisconsin Whitewater yesterday, and the BCS, the BSC baseball team, backed by a $100,000 GoFundMe, lost in dramatic fashion, 11-10, for a school that did not even exist anymore. Shout out to the Birmingham Southern men's baseball team as they made a deep run into the D3 World Series. Came up a little short last night, 11-10, after dramatic finish in this College World Series. Shout out to them. Let's dive into this show. Donald Trump goes to the UFC, watches Shaun Strickland win. Afterwards, Shaun shouts him out and then endorses Trump once again on the biggest stage, him winning his fight. Trump continues to grow popular votes, and I'm sure he will appeal the 34-count charge up by this crooked judge. Meanwhile, Dr. Fauci admits to lying to America and the rest of the world regarding masks, vaccines, etc., and is charge-free, jail-free, and keeps his fat bank account. Make it make sense. The Birmingham Southern Cinderella story has ended, as I just mentioned, as they lose to Wisconsin Whitewater 11-10. But what a story. Deion's in the news. Shocker, he has a new rap song, and his team is in boot camp. Can't wait for Matt McChesney to join us. Caitlin Clark continues to be a hit in non-basketball manners as she continues to get heat every single way in the WNBA in her inaugural season. Caitlin Clark, Big Smitty has something to get off his chest. Caleb Williams leads Green Bay sucks chance at a Chicago bar. And in breaking news, Darren Waller retires to become a rapper. Michael Jordan autographed card sold for a record $2.9 million yesterday, an all-time high. But before we begin, my wonderful co-host, self-esteemed Ball State legend, Naptown's finest, 317 Far East Side great, AR5 defending, Lamar Jackson loving, LeBron hairline having, Smitty, that's how you do it. Yeah.
There you go, Bailey. There you go, Bailey. That's my theme music right there.
You see how I made that transition?
You?
Huh?
You? What you mean you?
I made that transition.
You didn't make the transition. That was Bailey.
I do it, man. I produce everything. I made that transition in the video. I did the whole thing. I see how I made it low, high. You know what I'm saying?
It was good. It was good. But I think Bailey did it. Shout out to Bailey, man, our amazing producer, social media producer. He cut, he edit, he direct. He makes sure you stay on track with your stuff. He do everything, man. Shout out to Bailey. What's going on, chat, man? It's Monday. Merciless Mondays. We here live. I'm excited. Had a good weekend, JB. I had a good weekend, man. Had some ice cream last night from Salt and Straw. Ooh, I'm feeling good.
Hey, see, you be going to these commercialized spots, dog. I question a lot of the hood upbringings that you refer to on this show because Salt and Straw, it sounds feminine. It sounds feminine.
Have you been there before, yes or no?
No, because I won't go because I know what it is. And it's a very feminine, bougie, upscale, Beverly Hills-ish, real whitewash spot. So I want to throw that out there. Anyone that goes to Salt and Straw didn't grow up around me. And
JB, just because you from the hood, I mean, you got to stay in the hood.
Midwest, probably grew up Midwest, I would say. But Salt and Straw, and then a lot of the places you eat, it tells me, like, I get a lot of, like, Fox vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hang out with Shady and Joy, and we go out, and they take me to these bougie spots, and we get to eat and drink, and then you get trained that way. See what I'm saying? You get trained. Kevin Olsen, what up? My boy Kevin Olsen in the chat.
No, that's my boy. What's good, Kev? I was talking to you the other day on Twitter, man. Shout out to Kev for supporting me. Come on the show.
Why'd you talk to him?
That's my guy. He loves what I do on this show. He loves the energy I bring. He says the show's way better since I've joined compared to where it used to be. The production's better. The numbers are better. Everything's way better. I keep you balanced out. Shout out to my guy, Kevin Olsen. Back to you real quick. Just because you're from the hood, you're from the ghetto, you're from the slums, don't mean you got to stay in the slums or stay in the ghetto. You ain't been back to Compton in the years.
By the way, Kevin, who played for me and loved him to death, his brother, Greg Olsen, obviously, has got the short end of the stick here, over here, in my opinion. Brady's going to replace him as the lead one. So hopefully Kevin's brother, Greg, gets that big-time deal and be calling a Super Bowl soon. By the way, Kevin's the guy behind the scenes that no one knows about. Kevin be telling Greg, like, you need to be doing this. Kevin's like a fucking savant, by the way. So just so we're throwing that out there.
Shout out to Kevin Olsen, man. Bad boy. It's a bad boy right there.
I drove Kevin from Garden City, Kansas to Riverside, California with Carlos Thompson, a couple of us, dog. It was a good time, man. I'm glad I got to have those guys in that car ride in the U-Haul 25 hours. Shout out to Kev. So Kev's coaching now. And he's doing his thing. And so, Mary got kid. I mean, Kevin doing the whole thing. So his father, great family, by the way. Shout out to the Olsons, man. His dad's one of the New Jersey's winningest head coaches in high school history out there. Legendary family. Shout out to all them. Yeah, Smitty, we're just going to end it right there. You're bougie and you go to bougie spots. I'm going to take you to a hood ice cream spot. Like, everything you do, it's got to be hood. You can't fuck with me if it ain't hood. So we got to go hood basket. I go to a Baskin Robbins. It's spelt different, but it's Baskin Robbins, and it only has 20 flavors.
All right. Well, let's go, Jay. Maybe that's our new series. Like, when we're not doing the show, we walk around with them new cameras that we just bought, and it's gonna be JB takes Smitty to the hood, and we go to 10 different hoods. But we go to a hood steak spot, a hood ice cream, a hood fucking chicken spot, a hood burger spot, and we go to the top 10 hood spots that JB claims.
I go 21 flavors. It's in the hood. It's got like
20.
It's like a Hamas serving a brother with a white boy and an Asian. That's who works there.
Okay.
So 21 flavors means the people working there.
DEI though, diverse.
No, it's the person, people serving, not the ice cream flavors.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. We got a lot going on today. Let's get started right out the gate with the quote of the day. Brought to you by Bet Online.
What up, man? The real Coach JB here for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's Bet Online. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to BetOnline today. Become part of the team, and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Peace.
All right, Smitty. I'm doing multitasking. I'm setting up studios, buying all this equipment that you don't help with, doing all kinds of shit. Like,
I was in the studio with you like 2 days ago. I was there with you.
You was there with us. You
like
was there
5
with
hours.
us. You sure was there with us. You was chilling.
For like 5 hours was there with you. Helped you mount the TV. It was crooked. We had to take it back down, put it back up.
That's the one thing you remember because you didn't do shit else.
Put the sound blocks on the wall.
And Bailey, he didn't do shit else. He sat over there.
Sound blocks on the wall. I plugged up.
Arguing with his wife on the phone for like 2 hours. Then he was like chilling. Then he came back. Then he parked. It took him like 2 hours to park. And then he didn't know how to put together the desk. So we put
the surround sound. I had to make sure that you forgot that you parked in a parking lot that stopped letting you park at 3:00. It was 3:15. We had to run downstairs. You almost lost your car. Almost got stole by some Mexicans. Like, I had to help you out for the whole situation.
Unbelievable. Quote of the day brought to you by Bet Online. Sometimes you have to unfollow people in real life.
Okay. That's real.
I'm telling you, that's just a little bit of real shit. I just thought of that the other day. I was like, I gotta write this down. I thought of it Friday. I was like, you gotta unfollow motherfuckers in real life. Since y'all motherfuckers are so stuck on your phone, some of you motherfuckers gotta unfollow motherfuckers in real life.
Right.
And block them.
That's real.
Contrary to belief. Brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there to use the promo code Coach JB. Don't wait. Life goes faster than you think. Contrary to belief. Don't wait, dog. What do you mean, Coach? Don't wait for what? No, wait for shit. Go now. Go. Because it ain't. I'm telling you right now,
The
dog.
moment is right now, JB. Tomorrow's not promised. As much as it's cliche, but it's true. Like, it's not a guarantee that I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. It's not. It is what it is.
It's not, especially if you don't get the studio going.
Yeah, we gotta get the studio going, and when we go, we gotta go hard. Pause. We gotta get everything gotta happen.
I might make you not make up.
We ain't got no choice but to make sure it works too, JB. It's on you.
Poll question. Dive right into this debate. Even though this is not on the script, but this is a debate I wanted to start with because I know you just be like, Anyway, poll question. Is Jason Tatum a top 5 player in the world? Drop it in the chat below. Everybody out there on Twitter, Instagram, drop it out there. Drop it in there. And listen, he made first team NBA, all NBA. So that would put him at 5 or in the top 5. But is he, that's our question, is he really a top 5 player in the world? Because Smitty, as you think, I'm just thinking spitballing. I would have Luka. I would have Joker. I would have Giannis. I would have actually, if it was me, but this isn't me, but in my top 5, I wouldn't have him in my top 5. I don't believe he surpassed even Steph Curry yet. I don't believe, even as he's gotten older, I don't believe he's there yet. Here's my thing. He has to win a title this year for me to even consider him and getting a bump. And who would he bump over? Because Giannis has a title.
Yep.
I know Steph and them do. Joker has a title.
Yep.
Luka's chasing one right now. So the winner of this, to me, is a bona fide NBA superstar this year and in that top 5 for sure, in my opinion. But Tatum has too many hits and misses in playoff. As far as his consistency, he dropped an egg versus Miami. He dropped an egg in 6 versus Golden State in the final. The whole thing about we're young, Smitty, and they're young and all that, it's over, homie. There's no more young shit no more.
I agree.
It's over. They've been in the finals now and in the Eastern Conference Finals 4 out of 5 or 6 years. It's no more excuses. We give too many passes nowadays. We want to call him the greatest guy over here, but then over here we said he can't win in the big one. Wait. By the way, when Michael Jordan won his finals, he was the MVP of those finals. You know what that means? He solidified himself as the greatest player in the greatest game on the greatest stage. Mm-hmm. So did Kobe Bryant. So did Shaquille O'Neal. So did Steph Curry, LeBron James. All these guys did it in the big one. One of these motherfuckers should have got off the pot. The winner and the MVP of this series is probably winning the series, right? We agree.
I would assume, yeah.
And there's your guy. In my opinion, it's real clear. So if Tatum's supposedly the guy, right now going into this finals, we can argue that Luka is head and shoulders above him in this playoff performances so far. He has outperformed Tatum so far in a much harder division conference. So, throwing it out there.
No, I mean, I actually agree with you. I don't think Tatum's top 5 right now, but yeah, if he goes out there and wins the NBA Finals MVP, you got to put him top 5. I think Luka is top 5 right now because of everything you said. The numbers he's put up, the route he's had to take, how far he's taken a Dallas Mavericks team, which in my opinion over the last few years have not been as talented as his Boston Celtics team. Not taking nothing away from Tatum. Like I said last week on the show, I don't think Tatum gets enough props because at the end of the day, like we use the fact that Tatum has fallen short early in his career in some of these big games, but on the same token, though, it's like he was in those big games. And the reason they were in the big games primarily is because he, as the best player on the team and the star, performed at a high level enough to get them to those games. So it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're 22 years old and you don't make it, to the big game, then it's like, you're not ready yet. You're not a superstar yet. You didn't make it. But then if you 22 and you do make it and then you lose in the finals, it's like, this dude choked. So it's like, damn, it's like, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? We talk about Anthony Edwards, who's my favorite player right now in the NBA, but you know, he couldn't get the team over the hump. They got the Western Conference Finals, couldn't get to the NBA Finals. So let's say, I don't know what, next year he actually leads them to the finals or whatever, and then then wins or whatever the case may be. It's like, are we gonna look back at this year and say he choked, or are we going to say, well, he was young, it was a part of the process? Like, it's all about narrative and how we feel about that player. Because in my opinion, what Tatum's career to this point has been phenomenal. The stuff he's done in a young career is better than a lot of players when you put them at the exact same age and time frame within their careers. But now I'm with you. He's at a point now. He's a vet. He's no longer young. He has everything he needs from a team perspective to win. They are the favorites. They were the best team all year long. They lost only 2 games all playoffs. Now is the time to like nut up or shut up. So if they lose this one, I have no excuses for him. This is the first time he's been the actual only the second time he's been in the finals, period. So I can't really, it's not like it's a long list, but first time he's been a favorites in the finals. So he has to win. And if he does win, you got to put him in that top 5. And he may not be number 5. He might be he might be top 3. Somebody got to get passed up. You know, it's what have you done for me lately, JB?
Yeah. Let's see. I wanted to dive into something. I want to lead off this show with a banger because you had a good take I saw, and I'm like, we need a Smitty says so, because I actually agree with a lot you're saying, and I want the world to see your Smitty says so video and take as you chime in on your own video, and then I'm gonna jump in and chime in too, because Smitty says so. It's time for that segment right here on the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty. Take me away.
Winner of the 2024 Players Haters Ball goes to Kennedy Carter of the Chicago Sky.
You like a born a hater, you know, like myself, man. You know, a lot of cats think they hate, but man, I mean, I'm mad. You know, I'm mad at everything, man. You know, brother got a nice car, man. Why you got a car, man? I only got one car.
It's time to keep it real, y'all. These women are hating on Caitlin Clark. It's obvious. Every other week, she's getting these unnecessary non-basketball fouls. And don't give me this whole, she's a rookie, it's part of the process. Last time I checked, Caitlin Clark isn't the only rookie in the WNBA. Yet she's the only person getting these weekly, every single game, non-basketball fouls. I don't mind it too much, honestly, I really don't. But my thing is keep it real. Don't make it seem like we're crazy for pointing out that there's obvious hate and jealousy and envy towards Caitlin Clark. Then post-game, they ask her about it. The media asked Kennedy Carter about the foul call, and she wants to say, I ain't talking no Caitlin Clark questions. So the next day, boom, foul call gets upgraded from a regular foul call to a flagrant one. And now Kennedy Carter's on Threads talking about, what else does Caitlin Clark do good besides shoot threes? Last time I checked, Caitlin Clark was the all-time NCAA leading scorer. You, Kennedy Carter, who's a hooper, who I respect, was the second all-time leading scorer at Texas A&M. Let me say it again. You the second all-time leading scorer at Texas A&M. So you got to... Ooh-wee! Big Smitty was cooking right there, man. Listen, everything I said is facts, because Smitty said so, and I stand on everything I said, man. You can bring JB back on here as well, because I want to talk to him with it too. Listen, I understand Caitlin Clark being a rookie, and you got to, give her that tough treatment. Same thing happened to Lonzo Ball a couple years ago when he got drafted by the Lakers. When a rookie gets drafted, you're going to, bring that tough defense and welcome to the league. I'm with all that stuff when it's basketball. This play that we're showing on the screen right now, that's not a basketball play. Running up to her, calling her a bitch, hip bumping on the ground. That's not basketball. Then you get asked about the play after the game, and you say, "I'm not taking no questions." Okay, why? Like, why you in your feelings about it? But then the very next day, you want to go to Threads, which is the new Instagram's new Twitter, basically, and you want to go out there and say, "What else did she do good outside of making threes?" How can you say that when the woman's averaging more points than you, more rebounds, and more assists than you right now in the WNBA as a rookie? Number one. Number two, you look at her collegiate career, and Mrs. Carter, you are a really good player. You were a phenomenal player at Texas A&M. Again, the second all-time leading scorer. I think you were first all-time when it was your points per game average. So I'm not even disrespecting your career. You had a hell of a career. but times that by 4 in terms of what Caitlin Clark did. She's the all-time leading scorer of the entire NCAA men and women, not just her university, her school. She's number 2 all-time in women's history in assists. So how can you say only thing this woman does is shoot threes when she's a better playmaker than you, gets more rebounds than you, scores from a variety than you? And listen, let's say you were right and all she did was shoot threes. Shame on you. Shame on all the college basketball stars, the community. Shame on the WNBA women to this point for not just shutting her down and exposing her. Now, listen, Caitlin Clark has had her struggles in the first, 11, 12 games of her career. But understand, she's on a horrible team right now. Indiana Fever ain't made the playoffs since 2016, damn near 10 years. You're getting the best defender every single game. And she's still averaging damn near 16, 5, and 6, basically, on her overall stats in her first 12 games. She's bringing in way more fans than this damn league has ever had within 12 games, way more attention, charter flights, nationally televised games. Like, make it make sense. Instead of hating on her, why not take advantage of the fact that she's bringing this attention to the sport? You utilize that attention, ball out, build up your brand in a way that showcases all of us halfway fans that sometimes we watch, sometimes we don't. Prove to us why we should have been supporting you in the league. That's what a real one does, man. I'm done, though.
What? We got breaking news, fellas. Take a look. Justin Jefferson signs a 4-year, $140 million contract extension, $110 million guaranteed.
Oh my God, making him the highest paid?
Yes, sir. They already have.
Appreciate you, Bailey, for the breaking news, man. That's the bag, JB. That is the bag. Shout out to JJ. We knew he was gonna get paid though at some point. We just didn't know when and how much. That's a lot of money. 140 for 4 years.
Yeah. So tomorrow it'll be someone else will top him and he'll be mad.
I don't know if you can top that. 140 for 4 years for a wide receiver is crazy. In a position that obviously receiver impacts the game heavily now in today's game, of course. But at the end of the day, like, it's still a dependent position. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have a quarterback, I don't care how great you are at wide out, there's only so much you can do. We saw Devontae Adams last year. He had an okay season, but to his standards, to Devontae's standards, it was a bad season. Not because he ain't good and he ain't out there routing guys up. It's because it's question marks at the quarterback position. So this is telling, man, how the Vikings feel about him. Though JJ, they want to keep him there. Hey, shout out to Justin.
I don't know if that's how they feel about him. I think that's the league marketplace. That's just what it is. I just think that's what it is. If they didn't pay him, somebody else would. That's just is what it is. I don't know if they necessarily think he's worth that money. I think that is what it is. Like CeeDee Lamb's probably going to beat that. CeeDee Lamb, I think, is up next. I think CeeDee's next. I think who's next? Him, Jamar Chase. I don't know if Jamar.
No, Jamar's definitely, because Jamar's been sitting out. Jamar's next.
Now Higgins is going to think he's a 1. Higgins ain't a 1. I'm just keeping it real. Higgins ain't a 1, and Higgins is going to sit out. I have a feeling he's going to fucking sit there and play this out to think he deserves this type of money. He don't. See, that's the problem, dog. We're enabling everybody in the NFL when we sign certain guys to this brand, because then everybody thinks they're deserving of that bread. Like, not everybody's deserving of the bread. I'm just telling you. And these cats really think they are. And it's like, you're not, homie. I wouldn't pay this guy that money right there. I wouldn't pay him that money. Like, I'm just saying that money. I'm not saying he's not great. I'm not saying all that. He's been injured 2 years in a row and missed multiple games. Let's keep it funky. That matters to me. But
2 years?
Yeah. But that's the multiple games in those years.
Yeah. I got you.
I'm just saying, this is just the marketplace. Not hating on his money. Get your money. This is what it is now. But I wouldn't pay. I'm just saying for me.
Well, that's why you're a coach. You're not a GM, JB.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
140 mil. I mean, I'm just saying, he has to.
What do you got to do? What do you got to do for you?
Make my shit hard. Like, shit, homie. Shit. Because, look, I'm not a math major. I'm a cold hustler, though.
Yeah.
But listen, I got to be honest. Like, I'm thinking now, I just drafted a QB we don't know nothing about, and if he's even going to bust a grape in a fruit fight in J.J. McCarthy. I got Sam Darnold for a 1-year fix, if we call it that, if he does ball out. Let's say
That's your guy, though. That's your guy.
Let's say he balls out, and it's a 1-year fix. We don't like JJ this year. We don't like what he's done. He hasn't grown. He's not the guy we thought. I got to go get me a veteran QB next year. How am I paying him? How am I paying a veteran QB? How am I paying a big-time back? How am I going to get me a big-time left tackle? How am I going to go get me a big-time rush DN? This 25 is going to be a lot of DNs that are going to become free agents that are pass rusher extraordinaires.
Draft.
I got to go get those guys. Come on, man. We know damn well we're back to rookie wishing in one hand, shitting in the other. No, you don't win in draft. You know that as well as I knew. Look at the last few Super Bowl champs. The Chiefs didn't win in the draft. The Rams didn't win in the draft. The Bucks didn't win in the draft. You can argue they all got older and won by older free agencies. Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady. Look at these guys. These aren't young guys. You don't win in the NFL with young guys.
I would say the Green Bay Packers won in the draft.
You build your roster with young guys, but you got to go get veterans. Let's just keep it funky.
It's a good balance. It's a good balance of both, in my opinion.
So,
I hear you.
Know, it is what it is.
I'm not mad, though. It's JJ. Shout out to JJ, man. You know I love players getting paid.
Mr. Pickle Pants. I'll never acknowledge Pride Month, motherfucker. Never. By the way, can we acknowledge Pride Month? I want to acknowledge it. I got something to get off my chest. First publicly out trans and non-binary WNBA player. What?
I ain't got my cup. Where's my cup?
You told me? What? Hold on, though. Time out, though. I got some real spit for you pride fucking people. Can I get some real shit? And I'm going to keep Smitty out of harm's way on this, but I'm going to be real. Can we be real? Can all you fucking pride folks out here and all you LGBTQ plus XYZs holler at me and please pay some goddamn homage? Smitty, I know you're probably like, what the fuck is he talking about? Can you gay and crazy, weirdo, mentally disabled people please pay some homage and thank the straight person who fucking nutted you out, motherfucker? Can we please pay some homage to the straight moms and dads out there who actually had you? Please? But I have never heard it from that point of view. Have you? Can the straight human beings get some fucking credit for actually having you motherfuckers? I never heard you motherfuckers thank your mommy and daddy. It's crazy to me. You were not just put out here in a fucking eggshell and hatched, motherfuckers. Somebody had you that was straight. It's fucking crazy. It is fucking crazy. There's your pride take, motherfucker. All right, now let's dive into this Donald Trump thing, Smitty. Donald Trump shows up, drops his nuts, like, fuck it. I don't care if I got hit with 34 felonies or not. I'm showing up to the UFC like unbothered, Smitty. Unbothered. He don't give a fuck. And that's what he had to do. Unbothered, showed up. Aaron Rodgers. You know, our boy was there, our UFC fighter, our main man. He was taking pictures with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
McKinley.
Terrence
McKinney. He was there.
McKinney,
He was there. So look, unfazed, shows up, fuck it, drops his nuts. And then Shaun Strickland wins his fight versus a very good Brazilian fighter, from what everyone told me, and shouts him out, goes up and hugs him after the fight. Where you at with this whole thing? Just the fact that he showed up unscathed during all this turmoil that this country is in. And you and I talked Saturday about this in person. It's
smart play.
It's a smart play because, you know, from what I heard, Smitty, he's raised over $200 million since he got convicted.
Damn. That's like, what was it, a week?
Like, I'm starting to think this motherfucker the coldest hustler ever. Like, I think it's all a scam. This motherfucker was like, I want to get convicted. I want to get
right.
This motherfucker might be the coldest hustler
ever.
ever.
He just dropped his TikTok, got 1 million followers like that.
No, he got 4 million in 24 hours.
And
Hey, by the way,
how much money you can make on TikTok. So he making money on every platform right now.
By the way, he came in verified and shit. I can't get verified. It's been like 2 years. Hey,
I might be able to help you out with that, JB. Tell me that. Talk about that offline. But anyway, Donald Trump.
Think about that though. Motherfucker come in verified and then get 4 million followers overnight, and then the cool part is this motherfucker. Joe Biden's been on TikTok for 2 years. I got more followers than Biden. I got more followers than Biden, homie.
That's insane.
Hey, that's crazy, huh?
It's insane. But listen, Trump, I think it's a smart play because, like, if you're running for president, you got to show the American people that you like ain't nothing can harm you, nothing can slow you down. You're not worried about anything. It's not, now obviously we know he's him and Dana White are close and tight. And Donald Trump often goes to the big UFC fights anyway. And this was a big UFC card. So I'm not surprised. I guess you could say you're a little surprised because of the timing and the fact that he's dealing with all these this case or whatever. But I mean, hey, it's a smart play overall because, like I told you last week, I think that he's actually benefiting from all this shit. As crazy as it sounds, like he's not gonna really go to jail. Like, let's keep it funky. So, like, at the end of the day, nothing. I mean, what happens? It's a bad look, but he ain't going to jail. He can still run for president. Nothing really changes. So, I think it's just helping with his overall popularity. You know what I'm saying, in today's world. So, smart play by Trump from doing this, and we gonna see what happens, man. I feel like right now, if I'm another country, though, I'm just looking at everything, the whole picture, everything we got going on, and they just probably just drinking their tea, fucking laughing. I was like, what the hell they got going? Like, there's so much shit going on, man. Like, we saw Biden in the White House with the Chiefs the other day. Looked confused. He didn't know what the hell to how to put the helmet on, and that's going on. You got Trump over here, 34 counts, and it's just like, as a country, we just look kind of like
we got two 80-year-old weirdo fucks fighting each other.
Yeah.
While we're given the okay to use weapons in Ukraine, and we got
right.
WNBA motherfuckers wanting to be men to go to the NBA. I mean, I don't know. We
got hating on Caitlin Clark. Like, just a lot of shit going on.
We got a lot of shit cracking, dog, and it's crazy to me. Like, we got all this shit cracking, and it's all a game. It's all a joke to me.
Right.
And this is why last night I had to drop this video on everybody, because I was tired of dealing with it. And I'm seeing all these TikTokers out here. Take a look.
I am Ukrainian, and this is my car. I am Ukrainian, and this is my church. I'm
an American, and I don't give a fuck.
I know the feeling.
Hey, motherfuckers hit me up. That shit went crazy. And I posted it late last night, and it's gone crazy. But look, people are hitting me like, I thought you were gonna say more shit. Like, I thought you was gonna keep going.
Add to it, like,
he goes, it was actually perfect. He was like, that motherfucker killed everybody. Everybody was like, what is he saying? And that's it. That was it, homie. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, by the way, this bitch is from Ukraine, apparently, and I'm calling her a bitch because you are a bitch talking about the war and all your issues with a no bra, hard nipples. And you talking about you suffering. Come on. By the way, I tracked this broad. She's on Instagram, homie. She's an influencer, and she's at clubs and partying every night.
Oh, you could tell that, like, look at her. Like, this wasn't somebody who really in the struggle, really, like, in a part of the war. Like, she walked up to these areas for the TikTok video.
That's crazy, homie. That's crazy. I wish that bitch would have just boo. Like,
what's that noise?
I'm just saying, homie. Fuck these influencers, homie.
This dude's insane. JB,
I'm so tired of these. I'm so tired of these. I'm so tired of these weird motherfuckers, man. Like, we got real shit. By the way, our tax-paying dollars is going over there for you to make a TikTok video and party at night. And I got veterans sitting here in downtown LA fucking on the street. Like, what? But yeah, I would absolutely 1,000% fuck the shit out of that bitch. So yes, I would. But what does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
He said, with all of that being said,
what does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Two things could be true, JB, right?
Yeah, fuck Smitty's take. Yeah, two things could be true and shit. It's crazy though. They'll ask for our money and shit, and then they got Venmo and shit, and they struggling. Motherfucker, please. Shit. I'm so tired of this shit, dog. I'm so fucking tired of this dumb shit. But
what
anyway.
You gonna do, JB? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I don't know. Wait till my make it make sense rant I got later on. Shit.
I can't wait to that. It's a hell of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Speaking of rant, before you move on, you never gave me your take or your thoughts on my Caitlin Clark rant.
I want to get back to that.
Don't forget.
Here it is. I love it that she's getting banged up.
Okay.
Let me be clear. I love that she's getting banged.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you though. Stop the cap, as y'all would say, about you're not going after her, and it's only basketball. Stop. You're lying, because there ain't no other rookies getting that treatment, and there is no one else getting that treatment.
Yeah.
And when you keep saying it ain't nothing personal, you're lying, because we've yet to see this in the WNBA. Y'all are acting like this is the NFL.
Right.
And it makes sense, though, because for all the motherfuckers that, all you, whatever you want to call, I don't want to say the word right now because I don't want to put Smitty out there, but for all you LGBTQ women playing basketball that some of you want to be men, it makes sense. Y'all probably on testosterone. Motherfuckers probably out there trying to bang somebody for real, and you wonder why. I mean, look at that broad right there. She full juggler. She got full juggler. She ready to go. Look at that. She scares the shit out of me. She looked like the Joker mixed with the mask, homie. Like, what? So, look, you don't even know about the mask, the movie, Smitty. You're too young.
I do know the mask, but with the mask, stop playing with me.
So look, I'm going to be real. Here's my take, though. Let's not act, Smitty, like this broad's all fucking glitter and gold and innocent. She talked more shit than any player out there. She's on record talking more shit than anybody out there. Let's not forget all the shit this broad comes with when she talks. She talks a lot of shit. All eyes are on her. She knows it, and she talks that talk. Let's just keep it funky. So when it happens, I ain't tripping. I'm not really mad. But let's be real. She talks shit, and she's been on record talking shit. So I don't want to see this. We're already a soft-ass country, all as it is. So the soft-ass country is now in defense of her because we feel sorry for her hitting the ground. I know you don't, but I'm saying is we are feeling sorry for her. I don't want to go there yet.
Yeah.
Let's keep it. Two things can be true, as Smitty says, which we got to make a segment.
Yeah, we do.
Don't defend her because all of you soft pussies out here see her hitting the ground and defend her, number one. Number two, she talks shit. Let's keep it real. So I don't feel sorry. But the second thing to be true is stop lying, ladies. Stop acting as if this is not personal. It is personal, and it is clear and evident. But I'm going to be real. I know Matt Barnes dropped the video, and I texted him. I thought the exact same thing as he said. Where's her fucking coach and her teammates?
The teammates. That's my biggest thing.
But that's a known thing, though. I don't even know why why has no one else brought this up? I've been saying this for like 3 weeks. Where's your teammate? I haven't seen one person pick her up really. Let's go.
So on that play, Aaliyah Boston walked up to her and helped her up. But forget helping me up. Go run up to the chick that just pushed me on the ground and get in her face and push her. I don't like.
But I got to be honest though. Jamil Hill and all these race baiters have come out and claimed that it's racially motivated and it's a jealousy thing. Is it jealousy and racially motivated now that the white girl's getting their ass whooped up on every night? I'm just throwing it out there, Jamel Hill. Where you at now, Jamel Hill? Where you all you race baiters at? To me, I see sport. See, I don't see it like that. I see sport. I see Charles Barkley, Larry Bird. I see fucking Michael Jordan and fucking Kevin McHale. I see motherfucking Magic Johnson and fucking Bill Laimbeer. Right. I don't see no color. I see good, hard basketball being played, which sport is supposed to be. We're 1%ers.
Which I'm good with. Like I told you, I'm good with the physicality. But like JB said, don't make us seem like we're the crazy people for pointing out the fact that this is definitely a little more than just basketball, because like we alluded to earlier, it would be different if every rookie was just getting this shit. But they're not. It's Caitlin who's getting it. So it's like, why is Caitlin specifically the only one who's getting this? Angel Reese got fouled hard one time in the game, so I do want to point that out. But it was one time. It's like every other game we're seeing Caitlin get knocked to the ground,
right
all
there,
that, hitting the head.
That right there, Smitty, to me is bitch made for a female. And I'm just if that was a man, I'd call it bitch made.
Right.
You're a bitch made dude to hit me in the back.
Well, I'm trying to get the ball right. Like after like
I'm just saying in general, right? If you hit a dude in the back while he don't look, you're a bitch.
Right.
You hit a dude in the back, you shoot or stab somebody in the back.
Right.
We call you back in the day, you're yellow, right? They say you're yellow back in the Western days. You're a coward. You're a yellow. You're whatever. That's what that is. That's what it is. It's a cowardly act. And if it was a man, we'd call him a bitch. And shout out to her, man. She keeps fighting. She keeps playing. At what point she seems like a very mentally tough girl. So at what point do you see it too much? Like this is just too much. Because eventually, if her own teammates aren't with her, they're against her.
She needs to swing on somebody, I think. Not necessarily swing, but like all this fall on the ground, just walk away. At some point, Caitlin got to be like, all right, motherfucker. And like she gotta get up, get somebody's face, push somebody, grab by the neck. Caitlin needs to do something physical. It's almost like when you growing up as a kid, like, you know, I was a real nice kid when I was real young, and like sometimes it would be certain moments where I feel like I should have reacted a different way. My mom would always tell me, like, listen, everybody can't be your friend. If somebody say something to you, say something bad. They do something bad. There was a certain point at a young kid where it was like, I have to stand up for myself. Otherwise, they're going to just keep trying to punk you. So, Caitlin, they're going to keep pushing you, keep knocking you down, keep hitting you in the head, keep doing all these flagrant fouls. Your teammates ain't going to help you. Your coach obviously ain't going to help you. At some point, you got to just help yourself. So, to your point, I don't know when that's going to happen, but sometime soon, if it happens again, if I'm Caitlin, I'm getting back up. I'm grabbing her by her neck and pushing her back, and I'm gonna start dominating the ball more too, because we suck. We ain't been in the playoffs since 2016. I'm already the best player on this team. So if my teammates ain't got my back, I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna inflate my numbers, get my numbers up to 26 points a game, and I'm gonna shoot way more field goals because y'all ain't got my back, so I ain't gonna have yours. That's what I will be on very soon, because I'm with you, man. Like, it don't make no damn sense. In football, man, we would never do that. If my teammate getting dirty hit between the play, at bare minimum, you got to run up and get in that guy's face at least.
This is the reason why that I haven't been as high on her as a lot of you guys have been. We could call her the greatest scorer and all that shit. That's like calling LeBron the greatest scorer. I'm still not saying you're the best. Like, I just don't see it. I do agree with the girl though that hit her. Like, I actually do. I've been on the show several times. I don't believe she does anything other than shoot. Like, I really don't. She turns the ball over more than anybody in the league. She shoots more than anybody. She shoots more than anybody in the league. But this is the exact same narrative in Iowa, Smitty. She did the same thing at Iowa and went to the finals. So, like, I'm just being honest. She's a good player.
College and pro ain't the same, bro. Like,
yeah, I know, but
JB, hold on. You know this in NBA, Kobe used to turn over the ball a lot. LeBron, anybody who has to dribble the ball a lot and do everything, they turn over the ball a lot too.
That's the problem, though. That's the problem.
Players.
You got to figure out how to become a good player by getting others involved. If you're not that good, then
which
it's
is
easy.
but JB, you're not watching the game, JB. Like, these girls are bad to the point where it's like little stuff where like Caitlin will throw a dime to somebody and they'll
like, I'm gonna be honest. We gotta take a break because Matt's here. We're gonna go take a commercial break, bring Matt in a little early, and get after it. But I'm gonna be honest, Caitlin Clark and this whole WNBA is getting way too much coverage, and I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. I don't watch it. So I don't even know. It's a lot of conversation about something I don't even watch. You watch it. I don't. I think it's mid as shit. I think the broad's mid. She ain't no goddamn Candace Parker. She ain't no goddamn Taurasi. She ain't no goddamn Lobo. She ain't no Lisa Leslie. She ain't no Cheryl Miller. She ain't none of them. So it is what it is. But let's move on. Big Matt McChesney next. New commercial. Big Bailey, take us away. Rick George in Colorado news again. Rick George has come out.
Colorado news. Sweet.
Hey, Rick George has come out in some Colorado news. and and said this. And said this.
You just save all the Colorado shit for when I come on.
Yeah.
The only ones that are for you are in this room, in this building, and our fan base. Everybody else is against you.
Clean Jays.
You see all the naysayers out there. They got us 14th in
Discipline wins right there. It's big as fuck. Look at that.
the conference. Figure that. 14th in the conference. That's a sign of a lack of respect. But the only way you get that respect is you go out and earn it.
Why is he reading off the thing?
It's about us. And I believe that you have to have an appetite for hard work. You gotta want it. Every day that you come in here, when you go down and see Mo and the team down there, you gotta want it. You gotta want to win that championship so bad that nothing else matters.
Now, look, be real careful, you two, going in on my man Rick George. I ain't gonna hear it.
I know Rick. I'm cool with Rick.
I'm cool with Rick. Me and Rick.
Be real careful here.
Hey, let me ask you something. First of all, I don't like that he's reading off the thing. I know Rick.
Who gives a shit? It's notes, dog.
Because I know Rick well enough, so he should have came in there and been like, "Hey, man, we're ranked 14th. Fuck that. Let's go."
He did.
That's what I want to see. I don't want to see
It's just notes, JB. Shit, man. We can't even note. You got notes.
JB, you know he hates notes. As a coach, like, you should.
I hate notes. I hate
everything
it.
should be here in heart.
You don't like notes? You don't want your players taking notes?
No,
yes, my players.
The coach
well, I want everybody taking fucking notes, dude.
No,
no.
Matt's misunderstood.
I'm so confused right now. Why is
JB saying when a coach's approach is talking to the team or like a speech to hype them up, whatever the case may be, it should be like natural. It should be from the brain, from the heart. You don't know.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Well,
come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. Matt.
It's a pretty funny thing to criticize, bro. He's the fucking AD.
Here. Okay.
You're really reaching on this one, homie. He looked at his notes like twice.
Do it, JB.
And I'm doing Robert.
Do Robert Saleh.
The crow came down. Make sure you guys understand, when the eagle flies, the crow could eat the eagle, and then you get two crows. And then, listen, HBO, I know we're on Hard Knocks. Goddamn. The eagle flew down, and Aaron Rodgers, he was going to stay healthy this year. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's so disinterested. I'm so fucking disinterested when I see a guy with notes. When I see a guy with notes as a head coach or a GM or an AD or a fucking owner, I don't need to see notes. Here's the thing about it. Matt, he said something though he said something that's gonna piss you off though, and I have to piss you off before you leave the show. I want to piss you off before you leave the show so we can get a good vertical.
You can't make me mad, motherfucker.
Here's the thing. He said one thing that stood out to me on his note cards. And what he said was, that should make you mad on blatant disrespect on how they have us ranked 14th. Why? Sure. Motherfucker, what have you done? What have you done in Colorado to deserve higher ranking? How are you ranking? Why should you be ranked higher than 14th?
So let's do it your way. You're ranked 14th, and that's where you belong. You all suck. Get better. That's not gonna work.
Fucking right. That's it, Matt. That's exactly what I would have did. Exactly what I would have did. Here's what it had been right here. All right, guys, listen. They got us ranked 14th. Okay? Fucking 14th. 14th. And guess what? I'm going to give them a big shit fucking sandwich that we're ranked 14th. You know why we're 14th? Because we ain't done shit yet. We ain't busted a grape in a fruit fight yet, motherfuckers. So how about you fucking get off your soap story and feeling sorry and get your motherfucking asses ready to go win the goddamn conference. Now let's go and go. Yeah! Yeah! That's what they would have did. Fucking book.
You got y'all ass beat. When they got your ass beat game one going against Ball State in Matt's Colorado.
Look, I personally think that Rick George is a G, and I love him, and he does a great job. He's not up there to hype everybody. He has been there forever though, and seen greatness. He was part of the staff when they won in 1990. So
it's a dope name, Rick George.
He's been around, bro. Everybody knows Rick. So I think that him using a notepad or whatever, if that fires you up, then okay, that's what hill you want to die on. But I think he's actually done a really good job, and I don't have a problem with this at all.
No, I have no issue with that either. I was fucking around, but
I'll tell you this, bro. I don't know if I've ever been more nervous for the start of a season in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fact that he
North
said
Dakota State is scaring the shit out of me.
All right, we're back. We're back on Merciless Monday, and without any more hesitation, our main man, Matt McChesney, has joined us early. Matt, we had to make you wait. My bad. I didn't know you got here early, but I wish we could have brought you right in and had you for an extra 10 minutes because today may need extra 10 minutes because your boys are back in the news. Shocker.
Who?
Colorado's back in the news.
Shut the fuck up, man. Really? God damn it.
Hey,
What now?
Like, Matt don't even be knowing sometimes. He's like, what? Huh?
Dude, what? What fucking now? What now? What they do now?
Smitty, you don't know, but I talked to Matt privately. We be talking, and he's like, fuck, what? No way. He like really is like, fuck, what's out there?
I'm busy as shit, man. I do this, and then I go into my own fucking world all day, so
Let's where can we start today?
Where should we start?
Let's start here.
Appreciated, underrated, but the best. Yes. Now I cross my chest, I'm impressed. No, I don't stress, cause you know I'm staying blessed. I'm coming, baby. Now I told you.
You know I'm not stressed because I'm blessed. Okay, I like that, Prom. I see you, boy.
Can I begin before Matt? Matt, I'm sorry to put you in precarious situations like these.
Yeah, I'm sure you're fucking real.
Hey, look at Matt. Matt don't know what to do with his hands right now. Like his hands just doing a whole bunch of shit.
I'm gonna be honest, Matt. I have some sort of secondhand embarrassment right now for myself and for the coaches in the world. I just have a secondhand embarrassment. Not to hate, because Smitty will call me a hater. I just have a secondhand embarrassment. I'm gonna leave it at that. Go ahead, Matt.
I don't have a problem with this at all, dude. Who cares? He wants to go fucking be a hip hop star with his son, then do it. You have the ability to do it, do it. One of my favorite fucking outlaw country singers is Kyle Turley. Now he did it after he got done playing football, and he's not a Division I Power 5 head coach, Power 4 head coach. I don't care about that, but
he's got to win. You just got to win. That's it, Matt. He has to win, Matt. That's it.
If he
stop, Matt. Stop.
If he doesn't win, this is going to be the biggest embarrassment in history. Like, it just doesn't get worse. So, please, for the love of God and all things holy, for every orphan child out there, please, God. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, everybody, we need your help. Please, God, just fucking start 3-0 and go into the Big 12 like rolling. Because first 3 games are scaring the ever-living shit out of me.
Hey, Coach Prom must know something that we don't, though.
He's got to.
He must know something. He must have some type of secret
be
sauce
that
in the locker room that we don't know
about,
man.
Right?
So Smitty,
he's too comfortable. He's too fucking like he.
That's what, look. I'm not saying that you can't go have fun. I'm not saying that you can't go sing and make music videos.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
Look, dog. I've like gotten to the point with all of this shit where I don't even know what to say anymore. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's cool. High five.
I thought you said something last week interesting on here. You said like eventually shit stacks up to where I tell Smitty this forever. You and I talk about shit all the time as a coach.
Mounts, bro.
Shit stacks up. Like eventually that's your book though. Like when you start to see shit stack up, eventually all this shit stacking up is eventually that's your book you're writing. That is who you are.
I want to bring up something that no one's really talked about. And I'm doing this all here today. I'm not doing my show today. We'll be back tomorrow on 0 to 60. I've been moving for 5 days and I want to kill myself. It's awful. That's it. Coach Prime has always been, when he was prime time, before he was Coach Prime, he's always been in control of everything because he was playing. When you're playing, you have more control because you're on the field. Coaches don't have much control. They have to watch. You're an exaggerated fan that makes calls. Okay, that's what a coach is. Now, it's more important than a fan, obviously, but you're making calls. You have no real outcome on the game once the game plan's in. You have to have your players go play. The better players you have, the better coach you are, yada, yada, yada. Whether he was playing at Florida State or playing for Atlanta or San Francisco or Dallas or Baltimore or the Redskins or whoever. That's right, the Redskins. Or he was post-career when he was running high schools and he's on TV every 5 minutes and he works for this company and that company. He's always the commodity. He's always the guy. He's always the guy in the room that can change everything. You have a bad segment, turn to Prime. He can knock it out of the park. They're driving the ball and you need to play. Prime can pick it off and take it to the house. Well, now he's the coach. And he can't affect everything the same way he did. He can get the people in the room, but they all don't think like he does. Not even his kids think like he does. So my question would be, all right, what do you know that we don't know? Because we've seen practice. We know the players on the roster. I'd say there's 4 to 5 definite draft picks. And Jordan Seaton's one of them. There could be some really good offensive linemen in there, but we don't know yet. We got to see him play.
Right.
Seaton's so young, and then the other 4 are Shador, Shiloh, Travis, and Horn. So all I'm saying, I'm sure there's more guys in there that can play, but what I'm saying here is Coach Prime could always take over the moment and just do him, and he's in control of the moment when it goes south. Well, now he's not in control of the moment. He can, like last year at Stanford, where they're up 28-0 and then they lose. In the second half, he's chewing everybody out, and the kids are like, whatever, motherfucker. Stockmeyer's over there turning his back to him, and Cooper's turning his back to him. They're like, yeah, we're tired of hearing this shit. And they lose. And the Oregon State game where they don't, or they call a timeout and give Oregon State another possession, and then we lose by 6. And they score on that possession. That's him directly affecting the game and then putting his team in a bad situation. So all I'm saying is he can make decisions from the sideline, but he's not making any plays. And when you can't make plays, it's really hard to – if Joe Namath would have been a coach and he would have said, we're going to beat Baltimore in Super Bowl III, everybody would have been like, coach is crazy. But he's a player. He can actually affect the outcome of the game. He doesn't just stand there.
Right.
I'm not trying to take away from coaches, but I am saying that if you don't have players, I don't give a fuck who you are. Look at Bill Belichick with players and look at Bill Belichick without players. One guy has 10 rings and one guy is fired.
What do you say with guys like my old former player in here, Latrell, who's like, let me guess, he's supposed to be football every second of the day? Well, I want to answer that first as a former coach and as a player and then a coach transitioning. There's really not a lot of extra time to not coach every single second of the day if you're a Power 5 guy, a JUCO head guy, or even a Division I regular guy.
What is this guy talking about? If you're not all football all day, you're going to be watching football all day.
Listen, I don't think people really realize.
You can't half time this job.
There's nothing worse than a part-timer. First of all, let me throw that out there. Second of all, I believe that social media has normalized having fun and being able to do TikTok videos and dancing on those videos and doing all these things. I don't coach no more, Latrell. I don't use my free time to smoke and drink. That is my time. I smoke and drink all day. This is my free time right here.
Yeah, and also Latrell, you need to back off, dog. He's earned all this. He earned the right to sit on his ass and do a radio podcast show that people watch and listen to because he put fucking time in. Because he's respected by the community and the goddamn industry. He's not just sitting in his house typing on a fucking laptop, fool. Don't sit here and badmouth Coach, fool. Understand who the fuck
think Trail is talking about. We'll see. I think Trail's talking about when you coached, like while you were still actively coaching, you would take your free time, so to speak.
Well,
to smoke.
Okay, so what? The 2 weeks. He gets 2 weeks in July and 2 weeks in March to go on vacation.
And guess what? Yes.
And for clarity, man, I don't know if you heard, like Trail is one of JB's former players. So like they just so you know, like they.
Well, then Latrell, I'm a fucking jerk, and I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
No, you're not a jerk. I was letting you know because I was like, I can tell by your energy, so you probably don't even know. Like they
Hey,
told
by the way, though,
Latrell,
by the way, Matt, Latrell's been motherfucked by me. He don't give a fuck. He's tough skin. He coaches now. He's tough skin. He's like a.
Love you, Latrell. Sorry.
Hey, Matt, me going on my deck and smoke cigars at midnight after I've worked 14 hours is a whole nother ball game. I don't that rap video, each his own. Go do you, Dion. But that's not I get to go chill at midnight and do something on the humbug. That's a production.
Look.
That's a production. That's a lot of time into that shit right there.
Look, yeah. And look,
that ain't me lighting a cigar on the trail and going on the deck.
No, bro, I'm be real with y'all. Dion probably didn't even write the fucking lyrics. Their actual rapper probably wrote the lyrics. Dion came in, read it,
and that's
gave it
great.
2 takes, and it was recorded. It wasn't that hard to do.
Gentlemen.
I like how you doing the bounce thing. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What happens? Okay, so say they start 1-2 or 0-3. And I'm not saying they're going to. I know they started 3-0 last year. They beat TCU, they beat Nebraska, they beat CSU. This year's schedule is, I'm not saying it's easier. I don't know if it's easier or not at the beginning. North Dakota State at home on Thursday night on national TV to open the season. I'm watching clips of them running fucking quarterback power O where they're pulling the guard, tackle, fullback, tight end, smashing the entire left side down and running through a hole you can run a train through at Kansas State, by the way. So I'm not anybody that wants to sit here and take the points on that game and like, oh, CU's going to beat them by 4 touchdowns and kill them. You're fucking stupid. You are dumb as fuck. North Dakota State's going to shorten the game, run the ball down their throat, limit opportunities, and blitz the absolute living shit out of Shedeur. Now, should they score and win the game? Absolutely they should. Would it be a massive upset if they lose? Absolutely it would. Has North Dakota State beat 9 out of the last 10 FBS or FBS Power 5 teams they played on the road? Yes, they have. So that's number one. Number two, you go to Lincoln. I think Nebraska is going to be monumentally better than they were, monumentally, and they're going to be just as good and not better on defense. Matt Rule is a program builder. And if you think that last year was big, and it was, the game in Lincoln this year, it has been close to 5,000 days since the University of Nebraska has beat Colorado. It has been since 2018. All right. Last second win in Lincoln, the fucking overtime win in Folsom where they sold the stadium out and they all had to watch us come back on them. 2 years off. And then last year's ass beating in Folsom. And now we go back to Lincoln. That's their Super Bowl, bro. They lose that game. They're never going to hear the end of it from Colorado fans. And then they've got CSU and Fort Collins that just got picked up on CBS for national TV too. So all 3 of your games are on national TV. I would bet my pinky that game day or big noon will be at CSU, even though they're not broadcasting the game. And that is going to be their Super Bowl. And if you remember that game last year, I didn't get home till 4 in the fucking morning. It was a goddamn war. It felt like the CU-CSU games that I used to play in back in the day that were just back and forth all day, last play of the game, double overtime shit, like it's the way it's supposed to be. So all I'm saying is, last year you cannot respect the history and you can just kind of roll in and do whatever you want. But now you're part of the history and you have to respect the history of Nebraska and Colorado State. You've got to honor North Dakota State correctly. If I'm North Dakota State, I'm playing this today. First off, it's the first thing I do. I walk in, I turn the lights off in the team room, and I put Coach Prime up there dancing with Snoop Dogg and go, this is what they're doing. This is what we're going to do. Get ready to beat their ass on the 28th of August in Folsom. They're getting ready for the NFL. We're getting ready for August 28th. And I'm telling you, bro, it's just there's a huge target on the University of Colorado, and it's not because we're good. It's because we're out there. And if you don't like it, I don't give a shit. 4-8 is not the standard in Boulder. And I'm telling you, if they don't win 8-9 games this year and there isn't trajectory up and they're not, keep in mind, they're not, if they haven't found a replacement for Shedeur, they need to go find a 5-star replacement for him. You got to go find replacements for Horn. You got to replace Travis Hunter. You got to replace Shiley. You're going to have to replace everybody. So then Coach Prime is going to sit there and go, do I really want to replace all these guys and do all this work to keep this going? Or do I want to go watch Shador and Shiloh and Travis play? And I've got 8 toes and I can't handle the strain and blah, 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 blah. And that's why he's not going to coach anymore. So I have a feeling that they're going to be about 6-6 and the guys are going to get drafted high and they're going to underachieve and something bad's going to happen at the end of the season.
Yeah. AD's picks in the chat. It is a Colorado show when Matt's on because he's from Colorado. He played in Colorado. He lives in Colorado. He covers Colorado. So, yeah, it is a Colorado show. Dumb fuck. Now, Shut the fuck up. Now, listen. Real quick, Matt, I got 2 takes on this that are debatable and interesting. Number one,
I love you, Coach, dude.
Number one, I want to be clear. 4-8, bro. 4-8. Why is this an upset if North Dakota State wins? See, this is, and hear me out. Hear what I'm having to say. This is my point. We have put this team who has won 5 games in 3 years on a pedestal and act as if they are fucking Alabama because of this coach, Coach Sanders. Y'all call Coach Prime. This is why he should be heard and not seen at this point, Latrell. But just win, baby. Just win. You wonder why he shouldn't be seen doing songs? Because this is why. You have them favored against certain teams, and I'm sitting there, why? And listen, it's not a knock on why. My question is, I don't believe we fairly have evaluated this program. They shouldn't be favored, and it shouldn't be an upset if they lose. See, that's the problem. We're putting more pressure, added pressure on Deion Sanders and this culture in a 18-month span. Let's be honest.
You aren't. Smitty
no, I know.
They are putting the pressure on themselves, dog.
I know. So it's 18-month span. We've actually put this team on a pedestal that they just really, aren't there yet. Like, they shouldn't be favored. I don't even think they should be favored versus North Dakota State. Only reason they are is because it's a Power 5. It's Deion Sanders.
Right. That's the bigger reason. I mean, they're still a Power 5, Power 4 school, whatever you want to call it. And, North Dakota State, we know they're phenomenal, but strength of schedule still has to matter.
Go, Coach. Sorry.
Well, no, I got this other take I want to ask you. Go ahead, but I want you to ask a question first.
I keep saying this in here. It's he's doing it for the culture. And I'm just a big, stupid white motherfucker, but there weren't other successful black coaches. They weren't doing it for the culture. They're just coaching.
There were 3 at 5-0 last year, and they didn't get any coverage.
Well, that's Smitty. How do you feel about that? Being a black man in the United States of America, and I don't say African American anymore. I just say American because I never understood that. If he's doing it for the culture, again, big dumb white guy over here, I think I understand it. But he's not the first black coach ever.
Right.
He's not the first ex-player that's a black coach. Deshaun Foster is the coach at UCLA. He was a bad motherfucker at UCLA and an unbelievable running back for the Panthers and in the NFL. That famous picture of him jumping in the end zone, holding the ball in the Super Bowl.
Right.
I've seen him on TV once. Like, he did the Rick Eisen show, and that's the last time I saw him. So why aren't the other black coaches, why aren't they being projected and elevated and their eyes on their programs the same way? It seems to me like it's a little bit biased to one dude, don't you?
It's definitely biased. It just be, and I always say this to JB. It's just that there's only one Deion, and I know that's like the easy answer, but it's the truth. It's because it's who he is. It's who he was as a player, as a brand, how he carried himself from the beginning. Like, and then everything we're seeing from Deion isn't really a surprise. This is who he's literally always been. We just never seen this from a head coach, so that's why it's alarming. It's uncomfortable. It's almost like he's still showcasing who he was as a player, and a coach typically doesn't do that. So that's why I think right now it's so much I don't know if it's discomfort or whatever you want to call it, where it's like, damn, like, is this gonna work? Like, it looks kind of weird. Like, my coach ain't never did that, so it just kind of feels weird. So I think I'll never say he's doing it for the culture, but for the people who are saying that, I think it's more or less like Deion's always going to be him. And he's going to, whether that's connecting with the hip hop community, whether that's doing extra stuff outside of the football field, doing a music video, wearing the chains, wearing his own style and swag, talking the way he talks. I think like just being fully yourself and not trying to change to fit some mold, some head coaching mold that's been, I don't know, I guess a template has been set because just from over the years of head coaches for a long time, whatever. Predominantly white head coach. Obviously, we've had a lot of black coaches too, of course, but predominantly
it's all been white coaches.
led by white head coaches.
Let's be real. When I was in high school, homie, who was his name? Sylvester Croom.
Yeah,
Black head coach at Mississippi State in history.
But he left the NFL.
I was in high school, dog. Yeah, but he was at Mississippi State, right?
Yeah, he left the Packers, came down, coach. He was the first guy, Mississippi State.
First guy in SEC history, and that happened in like 1998.
Or 9
maybe
or
later.
something. Yeah, I don't know.
That's fucking nuts.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like
somebody had a really good point here in the chat, though. All right, at Cap T Lucky 23 said, "How many people are in jail or doing bad shit because of the culture?" And I'm like, God damn. That's some heavy shit right there.
Yeah, here's the thing, though.
Yeah, but I think the whole culture shit gets, and that's why I don't like really saying it, because I think everyone has their own opinion of what it is. Like doing the illegal shit and shooting people or selling drugs and shit ain't for the culture. Deion's not doing that, so you can't put that in the same boat. Deion is being himself, and being, you can say, rambunctious and being outgoing, but he's just being Deion. No, so I don't compare the two at all. But go ahead, Eddie.
Here's my take, though.
Okay, that's fair.
James Franklin has been coaching for a goddamn while. I've known James a long time. He was the coach in waiting at Maryland under Ralph Friedgen years ago when the coach in waiting thing. Manny Diaz was at Texas for Mac Brown, and he was at Maryland for Friedgen. Those were the first two coach in waitings, quote unquote. And then that shit died out when all this money started to get so astronomical that coaches were like, "Fuck waiting, I'm going to take this job and get out of here." Mike Loxley, my good friend Dino Babers, and Mike Loxley, good friends of mine, and the Freeman at Notre Dame, I believe, were a combined 15-0 last year and gotten zero coverage. Zero coverage at 15-0. 3 black head coaches.
Norvell's a black head coach up at CSU.
Yep.
3 head coaches. And that's why I know Jay in a long time. That's why I was excited when I saw Jay drop his nuts in that program come out and ball, because of the reason of the fact that, hold on, dog, I'm a brother too. I just was at Nevada. I've been at Purdue. I've been at K-State. I've been at all these places. And now I'm also a black head coach that you basically, if I was him, I'd be feeling shitted on. And I would be the same way in all these other things. By the way, Dino Babers was 5-0 and got fired last year. So I just want to throw that out there. No one wants to talk about that, though. See, that's the thing. That's why I think we got to stop anointing so quickly and putting these cats on a pedestal so unfairly. And it's unfair because the media does it, but fairly they do it because why Deion does what he does. He's in the media every day and gives us the content to talk about.
Right.
So,
and it worked. I mean, it worked from a standpoint of popularity. And again, Matt talked about it earlier. Fucking Big Noon was there. The first 4 or 5 weeks were insane. It was Big nuts, Noon, man. College game day, sold out crowd. The spring game was sold out.
I went to the Nebraska game, bros. When I went to the Nebraska game, I felt like I was on a red carpet. I'd never seen anything like it before. I'm fucking hanging out with Big Ticket, one of my favorite players ever, taking pictures with him, fucking hanging out with Wu-Tang and Cameron and shit. We're all standing in the locker room trying to figure out what the hydration thing is on the piss machines. We're all sitting there like, what the fuck is this thing, man? Raekwon's sitting there like, I don't know what it is. And Cameron's like, I don't know what it is either. And then one of the players walk in and start pissing, and we're like, right, okay.
Hey, but look, though,
it was nuts. It was fucking
we got these cats.
So your point, that be like, that's the Deion's not getting praised just because he's black. He's getting praised because he's Deion. Like it's like if Tom Brady became a head coach or some shit, he's gonna get crazy coverage. If Peyton, like, he's an all-timer. He's Deion. Like
I never said
wants to go down that road.
Yeah, but I've never said Deion gets this from being black. I never even brought up him.
Well, but you always bring up the other black coaches. I'm like, okay, like, I hear you, but like, they're not Deion. No, it's more than just being black. But
that's my point. That's my segue that I wanted to ask you guys. My second part of what I wanted to ask you. That's my point right there. You said it greatly. Like, people don't understand. Like, I don't know if a business CEO, and I want to ask Matt this, I don't know if there's a guy that's never coached or played football ever, to our point with the female whole thing we had that went viral and all these other takes about these people that don't really have a experience, hands-on base. I don't know if that's not true anymore going forward. Just in a short couple months since we've aired that, how far I've seen this thing really come. Because what Deion does in the media, what we see all these other programs doing in the media to attract NIL collectives and kids from the portal and how the portal is acting right now, I'm not too sure, Matt, at this point, that I couldn't go grab a guy, a Bank of America CEO that has not a fucking clue what a pigskin is, and come in and structure a program under this current landscape and have success. I don't know if I'm against it anymore, dog, because it's not football anymore. Deion is right now a figurehead bringing in money to a program that was down and out, and that's why they have anointed Deion as the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's not for winning games. It's for bringing in dollars. And I don't know if there's not a person out there that understands metrics, books, analytics, that can structure a salary cap, so to speak, under this current landscape, put together a roster analytically, and then go hire assistant coaches to coach them up in the game. And I don't know if that's something that's not feasible anymore. I really don't. That's what they're doing. They're managing right now, Matt. They are managers.
Not coaching. I agree.
They're not coaching. And I don't know if I'm so far away from it no more. I really don't.
Well, I just think it's more about backpats and social media posts than development. I'm very eager to see what Brett Kulajay says today. He was up there this weekend, had a personal.
And Matt, not to cut you off, that's a great point, because that was my next part of this. Like, Matt, it's no longer coaching no more if you have 40 new kids every quarter.
Yeah, so you can't develop them. It's impossible.
You can't develop them. So when Smitty mentioned, and you mentioned these two guys are NFL guys, and these four maybe guys on the roster are NFL guys, they're not Deion's guys. See, that's the thing. They're not Dabo Swinney, that's a bad example, but they're not the guy at Alabama's guys. Right. They're not the guy at Arizona's guys no more. They're everyone's guys. So, like, who is really taking credit for this anymore? That's my point of maybe a CEO can just come in there, work the portal, and now just run a program, because there's no one's guys no more. We don't teach tackling no more. There's no philosophy on how are we running our hips? Are we taking the air out? Are we upfield shoulder? Are we wrong arming? Are we clubbing? Are we kick stepping? Are we 6-6 step zone guy?
It's like I just said. It's like I just said, and that's a great point. It's like I just said, though. Look, Brett Kulajay went to Valor. He's a 4-star going on 5-star. He's got 30 offers, and his top 5 off the top of my head are Georgia, Texas, LSU, Alabama, and Nebraska. And Colorado just reoffered him this weekend. Good thinking. Tennessee's all over him. I was actually in here with the Tennessee coaching staff on the phone with Brett the other day. They love him. I mean, and that's not even like Penn State offered him. Oklahoma offered him. Oklahoma State offered him. He's got everyone. He's an IMG. He's going to be a junior. I'm extremely eager to hear about what they did this weekend. Like, he played next to Seton. He played with Cleveland. Those are 2 guys from IMG that are on the roster in Boulder. Was it just like, look, guys, there's tons of hot chicks up here, and this is going to be so fun, and it's going to be a big jerk-off session, or are we trying to get Brett ready for the NFL because that's what he wants to do? So I'm hoping that he didn't get enamored with all the bullshit. I tried to tell him what to talk about, just give him a guidance. But if they weren't in the film room, if they weren't on the whiteboard, if they weren't talking about scheme, if they weren't talking about how to early enroll him and get him in early so he can walk in and start next to Seton again, there's no chance to even try and recruit him. This was just a big bullshit session, because you're already late on him. He's got 30 offers before you get in, and he's from Denver. So just saying, not everybody from the state's a scrub.
Yeah, that's my point. We showed a thing last week the day you couldn't make it when you're moving, and it was for you, but we ended up showing it. It was the 30 guys that came up and spoke in front of the team that there were new transfers, and you have a long snapper from Orange County, California, who's out there, and I brought you up, and I'm like, this is Matt's point, and this is my point. There's no way in the world I'm going out of state on a long snapper in fucking Colorado. You know how many white long snappers are in fucking Colorado? And I'm like, there's a million. There's a million. I'm not going out of state for specialists. I'm just not.
You know how many white long? He was real specific.
I'm just telling you. Well,
have you ever seen a black long snapper?
Have you ever seen a black long snapper?
I've never seen one in my life.
Hey,
I've literally never seen.
Hey, Matt, we got a couple minutes with you. I got to show this with you in a segue to what we're discussing right now. And this is the second Colorado video. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but this is out there, and take a look.
Oh yeah, I think I saw this. Yeah, I saw this.
This is just everyone's done boot camp. This is not a pick on anyone. I just want to be clear. We've done boot camp type of things before in camps. NFL guys, college guys, high school guys have gone and done Marine boot camps. I've never seen one structured in this manner, though. It gave me a very interesting perspective on this. I just didn't see a lot of quick, concise acts. I saw a lot of this. I don't know what this is. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I was wondering, is this the team? That's why I want to ask you before I say anything.
Yeah, this is the team, bro.
That's their team?
Yeah, it's not the ROTC.
Yeah, I thought it was a camp with a bunch of like high school kids and shit coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I would just be saying we're doing boot camp training today with SEALs and not posting that. Like at some point, you've got to know when to not hit send. Like Herm Edwards is a great coach, and he said constantly, "Don't hit send." This is one of those don't hit send moments. Period. Don't hit send. That's ridiculous, bro.
Everybody, this is working.
I'm really sorry to all the Colorado fans that are going to get super mad at me today because I don't want my team training to be frogmen. So, I mean, if we're going to go fucking put like a bomb like Steven Seagal under the arm of a submarine to blow up Gary Busey and Tommy Lee Jones and Under Siege, I'm with it. But until that happens, then why the fuck are we doing this? What is this? And if you can't swim, how do you train? I'm not a very good swimmer. I ain't doing this shit. You ain't throwing me in there.
I'm gonna throw you in the water, Matt. You're going to have to learn today. You're going to learn today.
Smitty, you got it twisted. I ain't doing this shit.
The Marines will throw you in the water, Matt, and then what you going to do about it?
Hey, why?
The Marines?
What? Hold on, homie.
The Marines are SEALs.
Hold on,
Same
homie.
shit.
Two different people. It's not the same shit. It's totally different.
Why is there push-up? Like
I don't know, but what is that? This guy's dick must weigh 50 pounds or he has no core strength.
What the fuck are we watching, homie? What are we doing, homie?
Why y'all using the one guy with the horrible form to represent the entire push-up community? Everybody else is damn near they up here with it. It's one dude that's struggling really, really bad.
It's not just one dude, dog. So
wait, let me see.
Right here's got bitch kits.
Smitty will defend. Hey, I'm telling you right now, Matt.
Dog, you'll defend anything, dog.
Matt,
I'm saying this type of shit though that JD brings on the show is comic. This is a fucking workout at the end of the day. We're seeing 5 seconds of it, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't hit send.
I'm with you on that. I agree with you, Matt. But I'm saying, like, JD bringing this on as a topic, as if, like, this is some real shit. They're fucking working out. Like, whatever.
That's not a workout. This is a swim class.
If I'm a first-time watcher of this show and I see and hear Smitty, I thought Smitty was Matt's teammate who was at Colorado and was like a legendary Colorado guy. This motherfucker will defend anything Colorado does. It's unbelievable.
I'm not defending. What are they doing? Just make fun of them with us the way you know you want to.
We got in the pool when I was at Ball State, and we swam laps after games on Saturdays. We did.
But they didn't bring in the fucking
pull up, homie? Hey, pull up their pull up, baby. Pull up their pull up. Motherfucker.
What is that?
That motherfucking pull. He was hanging like that.
I'm just saying, dog, at some point, this is just
hanging like this. His legs are shaking, homie. This motherfucker said it's a pull-out. This motherfucker's like this, Matt. What the fuck are we talking about?
Look, I would much rather than
like go. Pull-up? Is that a fucking pull-up, homie? Shut the fuck up. Stop defending these motherfuckers. That shit is a mockery, homie.
They grinding.
We're watching it.
That's why he's shaking, JB.
Look, I just saw somebody.
He's done 100 pull-ups already.
Hey, relax, chill. You're going to have a heart attack. I just saw somebody in the comments compare it to like Shaun Strickland boxing with Max Crosby. Come on, dog. That's totally different. Like when I was with the Jets, they brought in Teddy Atlas to work with us like 4 times a month. And it was pretty cool for the hour and a half you got to work with them, but you're not really learning anything. You're just working out. I would much prefer them go box train and fight train than this shit. Look, just don't post it. Just post that you're going to work out with the SEALs and keep the camera out of this one. That's all. Or maybe after you record it, before you fucking hit send, watch what you're posting. Maybe. Just me, as a guy who posts literally fucking everything, maybe we should watch and be like, look at this sorry motherfucker over here. Maybe we shouldn't post this one. Let's do one with the guys who can actually play and not all the bankers that are here to walk on and keep the GPA up.
Hey, Matt, I'm hating today. I'm going to be the biggest hater. I'm sure I'll have 1,000 videos made about me because I'm hating because they give us content to talk about. Hey, Matt, we'll see you Wednesday.
Hey, can I say one thing about Caitlin Clark real quick? Because I listened to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
The WNBA, for the first time ever, is relevant. It's because of her, okay? But the other women in the league, this narrative that they need to go out and somehow embrace the competition in order for the league to get better, I think that's ridiculous. But at the same time, I don't have any sympathy for Caitlin Clark at all. You're the number one pick. Everybody thinks you're the shit. These other women want to take your bag. You don't like getting fucked up? Fight back. Stop being a fucking pussy. Like, I'm sorry, but someone does this shit to me. The first thing she did is look at the ref. Get your ass up and go fucking squabble and see if your teammates will support you then. Because the more you get knocked on your ass and just lay there and look for the ref, the more your teammates are going to look at you and go, well, if you're not going to fight for you, why should we fucking fight for you? So I'm just saying, man, if the WNBA wants to be taken seriously and people are showing up, it's Caitlin Clark's job to overcome this, not make the league easier for her so she can succeed. Get the fuck out of here with that. Either learn how to swim or sink.
Hey, Matt, Shaun, welcome in, Shaun.
Hey, Shaun King, what's happening?
Hey, Matt, I agree with you wholeheartedly. That's what I said. I agree with both of you and Smitty.
I mean, that's why I said that too. I just, before he came on, I said that she needs to get up and swing. Then I said, JB, she needs to get up and push right, do something back.
Do something.
Yeah. Matt, we'll see you Wednesday. Appreciate you. No show for you today. We'll see you on Wednesday.
I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week on 0 to 60. We got some good guests lined up. And I'll also be sending the graphic for our football camp. We're doing it on the 15th and 16th. And then at the end of the month here in June, Coach Mike Sanford is going to be doing it with us. So we'll get all that up. So that should be pretty fun and cool, and teach the kids some stuff and get them recruited and all that good shit. You guys have a great day. Yeah, try not to have a fucking aneurysm on Monday morning, Coach. Just take a deep breath, Doug. Was the AE not any good last night or what?
He didn't get it last night. That's the problem.
That's why he's so fucking angry. Yeah.
I'm actually fine. I'm actually good mood. All right, Matt. Talk to you.
Have yourself a great day, guys.
Later.
Peace, Matt.
Shaun King, welcome in. Tulane legend, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Super Bowl champ. Shaun King joins us. Shaun, what's your Caitlin Clark takeaway? Is it because she's just white?
Hey, soon as you get straight to it, Shaun. First, soon as you jump in, race question.
Listen, here's the thing that is interesting, because I think this is kind of like a case study in some ways. Because I'm all for equality. I have 4 kids. My 2 oldest are girls. They're 11 and 13. Of course, they're athletic. And, of course, women want the same platform that men have. But to whom much is given, much is required. With that platform comes higher scrutiny, more criticism, all the bad and negative things that come with celebrity on the men's side. Now the women, at least in the WNBA, are starting to get exposed to some of that. We're going to see how they handle it. I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with them being physical with Caitlin because they did it to Jordan. If you look at Jordan his rookie year, I mean, they was tough on Jordan, bro. They were following him. They were doing him dirty. I do have a problem with the coach and the team not supporting her more.
Bingo.
Like, if I was the owner of the Fever, I would have been on the plane, and I'd have let it be known, listen, all y'all expendable but Caitlin. So I can't say it any clearer than this. All y'all expendable but Caitlin. And that's including you, Aaliyah. Because I got an issue with Aaliyah, the number 1 pick from last year. She don't play hard. She don't hustle. She lollygagging up and down the court. Like, they're a bad team. I think is Weatherspoon the coach? I think she's doing a very average at best job of coaching that team. Like, you don't let somebody take advantage of your teammate. If we got beef on the team, that's behind the scenes.
Christy Sides, the head coach.
Christy Sides, she need to do a better job. We don't let people take advantage of your teammates. They fire your superstar hard. Guess what? You supposed to have an enforcer on your team next down the court. You go straight at their superstar, and that same caliber of foul is inflicted on the other team's superstar. And you let people know, I don't care what y'all think, y'all not going to bully our teammate, period.
I would love to see Lisa Leslie coach that team because I've seen her coach the big three, grown ex-NBA players, and I've never seen a woman get through. Now, this is 3 people compared to, 15, but still, I think she should do well in that with that.
And JB, one final point on Caitlin. Or 2 things. Sometimes when everybody dislike you, it ain't everybody else. And it ain't all jealousy. So maybe Caitlin need to be a little introspective during this period. And maybe some of the way she carrying herself, some of the way she interacting with others, maybe she needs to refine some of that. And the second thing is, this going to make or break her. This going to turn her into an absolute Michael Jordan level killer, or it's going to turn her into somebody that we just don't hear about that ends up being a bust. But
I agree. I said that same thing. I said, let's not just give her a pass on this. Like I've said it every time. If you go watch her when she's high, meaning they're winning or having success, she's talking big shit to people. Don't believe that for a minute those girls haven't forgot that shit.
She should talk shit. We playing the sport though. Like that's what we do with sport. We talk shit.
Hey, don't cry over spilled milk either. I don't want to hear that.
Until she establishes herself in that league as a bona fide superstar, she gonna get the best that everybody else got. And once she shows them she can fight through all of this and start producing, guess what? They'll start helping her up off the ground. They'll start respecting her celebrity because she'll have earned it.
Yep.
I see people in the chat saying don't complain about getting hip checked. Caitlin ain't really complaining like that at the end of the day. Like she go out there, she getting up and she going out there hooping. Listen, from the jump, I said I don't care too much. All I'm saying is don't make it seem like I'm fucking insane when I say there's some obvious envy and jealousy going on across the league.
Absolutely.
I'm not boo-boo the fool. Like we all see what we're seeing. These girls are playing her differently than any other rookie. Part of it is just that they're competing, which I respect the hell out of. But some of the plays like we just saw on the screen by Mrs. Carter, and obviously the post she put on her Threads account afterwards saying, besides 3-point shooting, what else does this girl add to the league? That to me are 2 signs of a little hate. That's all I'm saying. Because Candy Carter, you are a vet in the league, and this rookie's playing better than you and averaging better numbers, more assists, more rebounds, more points. So, like, I mean, to say somebody, only thing they bring is 3-point shooting to the game, and she's better than you in multiple categories outside of just scoring. So, make it make sense. So that's all I'm making real about it.
I want to make it make sense. That girl is a role player on her team. This girl's coming in as a number 1 pick all the time.
No, Kennedy Carter, I'm going to give you some more information. She was a first-round number 4 overall pick a couple years ago. She was a rookie of the year, averaging 17 points a game, balling as a rookie, and she has not reached that pinnacle since then. She's been on the decline. She's been cut from the Sparks. She got benched by the Dream, removed by the Dream. Look at her history now. Look at her history. She's on a downward spiral. That's why she's feeling like this. Let's keep it real.
I get it. That's my point, though. Like she's saying that this girl's the number 1 overall pick. Everything's revolving around her, not only on her bad team in Indianapolis, but in the league. So if she's gonna say that, then hey, it is what it is. She was also an early pick in this draft back in the day. And by the way, she got drafted at 20 years old, from what I read. So if she got into WNBA at 20, this girl right here, if she got into WNBA at 20, then she's now saying that, talking that shit. I don't mind it. Like, I'm just saying my opinion. I don't mind it. I think that these cats should come at her hard, but also pay a little bit of homage. There's no way that you guys have the planes, the money, the fans without this white girl.
Well, I don't, JB, I don't know if I agree with that totally. I think she's brought more exposure, but have they actually realized her financial impact yet?
Nah, I don't know.
I know she has, but I mean, let's not act like
I agree to that.
Sabrina, Asia, and Sue Bird don't got a national commercial too.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Behind the scenes, the quality of basketball in the WNBA has really risen. My issue is, where's the Fever's Trinity Carter?
Yeah.
Like, you can't let people take shots at your superstar. You got to protect your assets. Like, I feel bad for Caitlin in certain ways just because the Fever is so terrible.
Look, like right here, Aaliyah Boston supposed to run up on her immediately.
Right
here. Look at this. Look at Aaliyah.
Like, why that girl ain't hit her? Why that girl ain't touched up?
That's Aaliyah. That's what we talk about. Aaliyah Boston. She was the rookie of the year last year. She's been playing real bad this year, and they too soft. I'm gonna be real with you. The Fever is soft. That's what it is. They let whatever happens to them.
Trinity right then, right there.
You supposed to push her, get in her face,
Hey,
do something.
I listen. We were talking way
me
too
off.
much women's basketball, but I'm gonna be honest. That right there screams to me that there's a real malcontent. There's a real jealousy act. If you're telling me she was the rookie of the year and she's playing bad this year, that means one thing. She got surpassed by the number 1 pick, Caitlin Clark, who came in with all this heat. And she's either A, sulking, sucking her lips, sucking her teeth, mad at the world because she's no longer the main attraction, or B, she just don't like the girl and they got a little bit of jealous ones envy going on their own roster, in their own locker room. It's from what from what I see on just outside looking in, if she was the rookie of the year, I can see that being a real thing, dog. I can see that being a real thing. Why is she balling?
Right.
And the bigger thing, JB, she not playing hard. That's the thing I can't stand.
That tells me though, Shaun, that's a telltale sign.
But Jimmy, from the jump, from game 1, she ain't been playing hard.
Well, like, guess what? Somebody got drafted before game 1, homie, on your roster. That's the thing I'm saying. There's a jealous something's going on there. I'm just telling you right now. You need a big time.
Yeah, well, playing bad ain't gonna help your career out.
But that's why you need a Lisa Leslie, in my opinion, to
go
in that motherfucker. Like, what? Like Lisa Leslie, you need a real deal in there, and that's my opinion. But
by the way, before you move on, there's another angle too. We don't have to show it, but there's another angle of that play where you can see the Chicago Sky sideline and Angel Reese. Soon as the hit, but she stands up, she's clapping, she's like, yeah, and then you see Trinity Carter going back to the sideline or whatever, and Angel has the biggest smile on her face. He grabs, she's like, yeah. Give her a little hug. Like, she's so excited.
To be completely fair, they have taken cheap shots at Angel Reese, too.
I saw one. Yeah,
but
I did see one.
Angel is physically more developed than Caitlin. And Angel will jump up and clap her hands and go back and get 10 boards on you. So, like, she a different animal from the physicality standpoint.
Different position, too. I mean,
yeah.
So it's not just Caitlin. They're taking a shot at the other high-profile rookie, too. But Angels on a much better team. The Chicago Sky are light years ahead.
They won a championship a few years ago. Like, they ain't even have, so.
Hey, all right. I got to ask you right out the gate. You saw my QB stuff. You couldn't make it on last week, but we had a short week with the holiday. But you saw our quarterback stuff, AFC, NFC, top 32, our top 10. Of course, everybody out there will.
I ranked them.
Shaun, I started my, before you give yours, I started my whole thing off with rookies. I just am not a big guy believing that a rookie that I haven't seen play in the grown man's league can come right in and be some top 15 guy and all these things. So I started with the rookies that are going to probably play, which is probably going to be Bo Nix. I got him last, 32. I got Caleb, and I got Jaden Daniels, who I think you and I both agree were our favorite in this draft. So I obviously put him above Caleb, even though Caleb was the first pick. That doesn't mean anything to me because the roster matters, the team matters, the league matters. So that is how I kind of did this, plus projection from last year to this year, plus current roster. That's how I ranked them. So go ahead. Give us your 32, or I don't know what you want to do, your 10.
So my ranking is 23 to 32. I can go in any kind of way. Like, who the hell knows how you rank Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, like Bo Nix,
I got those
Daniels, Caleb Williams, like all those guys, they got to come. They all look talented. We'll see. My list is interesting. I have Patrick Mahomes number 1, without question. I think I don't even think there's an argument you can make for anybody else.
There's no argument. Literally, there's no argument.
It is what it is. If you're arguing somebody else's number 1, then you kind of just
try to hate a little bit.
Yeah, you just try to
fight. Whoa, shit.
Huh?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I got Stafford, but go ahead.
Yeah. My list gonna shock you. I'm a Stafford guy too. I don't know what the hell JB's talking about, but I mean JB just sometimes like JB like really like be trying to like be honest and truthful, and then sometimes he be on the bullshit. And this is just one of those he on the bullshit moments.
Thank you.
He don't really believe that Matthew Stafford is better than Patrick Mahomes. If he got a job, if Andy Reid retired and the Chiefs hired JB, he would not call the Rams and say, I will trade you Patrick Mahomes for Matthew Stafford.
Right.
Okay.
He won't. He won't.
You're probably right about that because of the age difference. But player-wise.
And from what you know, 3 Super Bowls back to back. Come on now.
Hey, for context, though, JB, I have Matthew Stafford 6. So I am high on him.
Keep going on in your order. Keep going.
There ain't no 5 quarterbacks better than Matthew Stafford, but go ahead.
I got Patrick Mahomes 1. I got Josh Allen 2.
Not mad about
here's
that.
why. The Bills' failure in the playoffs are not because of Josh Allen. He's 21 touchdowns, 4 picks in the playoffs. He's been balling. They've just run into some teams that were better than them, and they haven't been able to beat them. It just is what it is. They had the Chiefs beat. Mahomes pull a rabbit out his hat. Burrow and the Bengals came in there, and I mean Burrow was on fire. They couldn't he's lost to some elite guys. The Bills' losses aren't because of him. I got him 2. I got C.J. Stroud 3.
Ooh.
And here's why.
Ooh.
I think what Stroud does at the quarterback position is sustainable year in and year out. If you look at his ability to locate the football, make great decisions, be poised when everything is chaotic, like those things don't go anywhere. And he's an athlete when he needs to be. So I base my list on, okay, if I had to pick a quarterback and I was a GM right now, who would I take? Okay. So I got C.J. Stroud 3. I got Lamar Jackson 4. I don't love everything about Lamar, but I don't think you can deny his success. And since 2015, he's only really been hurt twice. 21, he had an ankle that had him miss some games, and 22, he had a knee that had him miss some games. Joe Burrow's 5. The reason I brought up the injuries, in 17, Burrow had a wrist. In 20, he had a rib. Then in late 20, he tore his ACL, PCL, MCL. In 23, remember he had the calf that made him miss all the training camp almost.
Yeah.
Then in 23, he had the wrist that made him miss the rest of the season. So because of his injury history, I have him down behind Lamar. Otherwise, he might be 4 and Lamar 5. I've got Matthew Stafford 6.
Yeah, I'm mad about that. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is 7. The reason he's not higher on this list, we haven't really seen a 40-year-old have that kind of injury and come back and still be the same caliber player. But until I see that he isn't, I can't have him too far down the list. Same for my number 8 guy, Kirk Cousins. Kirk doesn't get enough credit. Kirk's a damn good quarterback. It's going to be very interesting to see, what Kirk can do if those young guys in Atlanta are as good as we think. Justin Herbert is 9 on my list. I still think there are a lot of question marks for me about how he handles big moments, but he is talented.
Where you got Burrow at?
9.
You got Burrow at 9?
No, Herbert.
Where you got Burrow at?
I got Burrow at 5. He's behind Lamar, CJ, Josh, and Mahomes. And Bailey, if you can make this a list, that'd be easy. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with computers. Number 10, and I battled with this next grouping. I'm going to take the best of what Jalen Hurts has showed me and put him at 10. Okay. So Jalen's kind of guy, at the end of this year, he could be 21 or he could be 3 or 4. I think he got a wide gap, because if you go back and look at that playoff run, especially that Super Bowl, Jalen looked like one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. If you look at times last year, he looked like he's in that 23 to 32 group. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what we get this year. Russell Wilson's 11. The demise of Russell Wilson is greatly exaggerated. Dak Prescott is 12.
I was wondering when he was coming. I'm like, damn.
I got him exactly the same, don't I?
Yeah. Jared Goff is 13.
I got him way high.
Kyler Murray 14. And here's kind of why Kyler's at 14. And I got Brock Purdy 15, Baker Mayfield 16. I got Kyler ahead of those guys because I think he's got bigger upside than Brock Purdy. But what Brock Purdy's done, you got to give him credit. I mean,
where you got Purdy at?
15.
I got him at 13, so yeah.
Yep. I got Trevor Lawrence at 17. To me, he's the one that's overrated.
So do I. I got him at 17.
Yeah, he looks the part, but I mean, there's a lot of holes in his game, very inconsistent.
But I got him ahead of Tua, though.
Oh, I got him ahead of Tua, too. I got Geno Smith at 18.
I got it, Geno at 14. Okay.
Jordan Love at 19.
Oh, I got him way high.
And then Tua at 20. The only reason that I have Jordan Love at 19, because he had a big year, threw 32 touchdowns, 11 picks. He wasn't a great quarterback at Utah State. So, JB, I kind of got him. Like, he's always been a super talented guy, but, like, he's not.
So you're letting college mess up your head now.
No, Smitty, here's what I want to see. I just want to see it more than once.
Okay, I respect that.
Okay, hold on. I got a huge conflict with your list, though.
No, listen. With CJ, I saw it at Ohio State for 2 years, and it just transitioned right to Houston. If you go look at Jordan Love's Utah State film, he all over the damn place.
I agree with that take, but I don't agree with the fact that Jordan played and learned from Aaron Rodgers. I think that's huge in this, and I think that's why Jordan has ascended forward, and that is why I would have him above guys. He has the bullets, the live ammunition fired at him already. I got to see CJ, who I love a lot, is going to get on the show. I think he has to do it again in the grown man's league after a book has been put out on him. There's a book on Jordan Love. So I that's why I have him so high. I also have Jared Goff so high because he has been to a Super Bowl. He almost went to another one in a new franchise. I think that carries some merit and weight. And then Joe Burrow, to me, has to show me he's not hurt or injured and can actually play again through a season. And that is why you kind of made that take about Aaron Rodgers. I have him close to where you have him, but I also have him ahead of C.J. Stroud for that very reason.
About Jordan Love, yeah.
So that's kind of why.
Which is fair. And so, like, I had Jalen Hurts 10 and Jordan Love 19. Everybody in that group could be in the kind of top 10 at the end of this year. Like, these are all guys that are kind of talented for whatever reason. You know, they're not quite in the top 10, but they're all capable. Like, the talent's there with Jordan. So, I mean, I probably could have had Jordan ahead of Trevor Lawrence and Baker. It is what it is. Again, the Utah State film, I know he got hot last year. We'll see. I want him to be good. I hope he's great. Hope he bounces back, has another great year. I got Tua 20, Deshaun Watson 21, and Derek Carr 22.
We're close on all those. Like, our ass in guys are right. We're off. I think from 17 to 22, we're almost identical.
I mean, we really got the same list outside of you just trying to be strange with the Stafford and Goff.
Well, here's my QB special brain that's gonna go in and drop the mic on y'all real quick.
Okay, let's see it.
This is why I have Stafford so high, and this is my true opinion of him. Number one, he's a better ball spinner. Let's be honest. If you think he's not, you guys are crazy. Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers are the two best ball spinners in the league, in my opinion, followed by Jared Goff and Derek Carr. Now, if we're talking just straight arm skill, talent, and spinning it, those four right there sit above everybody, in my opinion. Mahomes and Josh Allen and Herbert follow. That's just my opinion. As far as effortless, release, different platform, spinning the bits, wind, rain, you name it. Those guys are the best ball spinners in my opinion.
Say it, Shaun. Say it, real. Hold on. Say it.
Let me finish. He can have it. Matthew Stafford, correct me if I'm wrong, did the same thing in the shittiest place in America, Detroit Lions organization, and broke every single record and did every single possibility. Plus, isn't he the only guy with 2 Hall of Fame wideouts that he's created? That is why they don't dismiss like, yo, motherfuckers acting like this cat is shitty. Like, let's be real. Stafford is by far and head and shoulders better ball spinner than all these cats we're talking about. So there is a reason why I have him number 1, because when he left Detroit, Shaun, he goes to a organization and wins it year 1, Shaun.
Loaded
Now,
team.
Loaded
team.
Let me finish though. Is Patrick Mahomes your number 1 if he was in Chicago? Is Patrick Mahomes your number 1 if he was at a second team? We have proof in the pudding that Stafford's done it twice in 2 places. Wait till Mahomes' story is written before y'all just keep swinging. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real.
Go
ahead, homie. No, go ahead.
What is Stafford doing? No.
I dropped the mic on your ass.
You ain't dropped the mic. I grabbed it. As soon as you dropped it, I caught it like
you
this.
Grabbed
and
it.
brought it
You
back
grabbed
up.
it with AR5 glasses, motherfucker.
I don't bring on. AR ain't got nothing to do with this. AR ain't got nothing to do with it. That's how you know you're not confident in your take when you bring up some other shit. Ain't got nothing to do with it.
Smitty can't even fathom what I just said. So go ahead, Shaun.
Go ahead, Shaun. Go ahead, Shaun. Go ahead.
First of all, let me show you how experienced of a debater I am. I have Matthew Stafford at 6. So just because I don't agree with the fact that you have him at 1, there will be no Matthew Stafford slander.
Right.
Stafford has been outstanding in this league for a long time. The impressive thing about the Detroit run for him is it didn't mentally break him because they were bad. They didn't pass protect. They lost a lot of games. He had made a lot of money. A lot of quarterbacks in those situations, a lot of athletes in those situations would have just, I'm done with this. I got plenty of money. I'm retired. You could tell he wanted his legacy to be what it has become. And he went to the Rams and he brought him a Super Bowl. And a lot of that win was the fact that he made some hella throws, down the stretch. Now, granted, I thought the Bengals did some boneheaded stuff on defense a couple times, but he took advantage of it. But he's not better than Patrick Mahomes. And so, JB, you need to stop saying that. Also, C.J. Stroud is the best thrower of the football I've ever seen. Period.
He's not better than Stafford, and that's my
yes,
boy.
he is.
JB. Did you hear what he just said? Stop real quick. JB, he said, hold on. I love CJ. He said C.J. Stroud is the best thrower of the football I've ever seen. He didn't say right now, JB. He said ever, for clarity.
And that's my point. Like, Shaun's going to take some heat on social media. There's no way CJ's better than throwing it.
And I love, we all love CJ, but that's a strong take.
And to all of you that are in the chat that's going to see this video as we cut it up and they put it out, when you talk about arm talent, for me, it's not just how much velocity you can get on the ball, how far you can throw the ball. It's a combination of ball location, being able to change speeds, throw on different levels. And listen, I'm not knocking the fact that I think Matthew Stafford can really spin it. What I'm saying is C.J. Stroud, from the time he took over as a starter at Ohio State, I don't know that he's missed any layups. I mean, that boy can put that football consistently exactly where it's got to be. He's got plenty of arm talent. I'm just telling you, I never understood the hate for him coming out of college. People were talking about he was dropping and Will Levis was going too, and I was like, y'all done lost y'all damn mind. Listen, C.J. Stroud to me is the best thrower of football I've ever seen.
I'm with everything you just said, but when you say the best thrower I've ever seen after 1 year of NFL play, which is a phenomenal year, do you understand what you're saying? Like, when you say ever, that means you're saying he's a better thrower than Dan Marino. He's a better ball spinner than Aaron Rodgers. He's a better ball spinner. Like, do you understand when you say the word ever, Shaun?
Right.
Like, that means everybody who's ever played the game ever.
For context, before this, it was John Elway for me. I thought John Elway was the guy that can spin that football like you've never seen. And I'm just telling you, I don't know if CJ is going to be better than John Elway. I'm just telling you, when it comes to locating that football, being able to make every throw and actually doing it on a consistent basis. Like, the one reason I don't put Rodgers up at the top, because I think Rodgers misses a lot of layups. Now, he's got phenomenal arm talent. He's made some great throws. And he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But he does miss a lot of layups because his technique, his fundamentals are bad.
JB, I'm going to let you have it. Yeah, you're the QB guru on this one. I'm going to sit out.
Pull up the video, Bailey, real quick, if you can.
I'm a D tackle, so I'm going to sit back. I'm going to sit back as the guy who's sacking people, You guys have a different eye for quarterbacks than I have. And
it'd be like you having to tell somebody who was better, Aaron Donald or Warren Sapp.
Yeah, and I it's a tough one, but I'm going with AD.
And see, I would say Sapp 10 out of 10.
3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
I agree with you.
Undersized, but strong as an ox.
Only
Triple
reason-
team, quadruple team.
Only reason I would say Sapp was because who did Donald beat for those defensive MVPs? Not taking anything away from Aaron Donald, because he is legit. I couldn't figure out coming out of Pittsburgh why people weren't higher on him.
All pro every year outside of his rookie year, I think. Like his career is damn near flawless. His career. You look at his total career, it's amazing. It's something I've never seen. It's crazy. But I mean, listen, it's Warren Sapp, so I'm not gonna be mad at you for picking Warren Sapp. I mean, he's a dog. I mean, without Warren Sapp, there wouldn't be the Aaron Donalds and all. You know what I mean? So I got to pay homage to the OGs for sure. So it could be a little biased because I've seen Aaron Donald more recently. Yeah, that could play a role into it. But also when I just look at his accomplishments, throughout his career, I look at the impact he had on that Super Bowl chain. We talk about Stafford's impact. Let's talk about Aaron Donald's impact on that Super Bowl run as well, man. Big time sack, big time. I remember that last play, that QB pressure. He started pointing at his finger, run off that field. That sticks in my brain. So,
hey, Smitty, not to cut you off. You know why it's taking JB so long? He's trying to find a miss by C.J. Stroud.
No, I couldn't get full screen up. I couldn't get full screen up. This one game. I couldn't get the full damn screen for some reason, but now I figured it out. No, I was just going to show some CJ while you were talking about him. But like I said, I got to see this cat. He's still young in theory in this league. And
I get
listen,
it. And if anybody wanted to give me pushback because of only being in the league 1 year, I wouldn't really push back at you. I simply was saying if I was a GM of an NFL team right now, you let me choose what quarterback I could have, he would be third on my list behind Mahomes and Josh Allen.
And
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that part.
Yeah, here's my take on that, though. I agree with everything. The things you are saying, a casual has no clue about. That how effortless that was. He took what they gave him. He ain't forcing everything. He's sucking people in so he can go behind it. A lot of guys will hold that right there and not throw that flat route right now because they're trying to get something behind it. People in the casual fan base don't understand how good he really is as a rookie. Here's my take. I equate this with your Josh Allen take, though. Both of these guys have something coming into this season that worries me. One, addition by subtraction, losing a Diggs, losing a Gabe Davis, and now having to be Patrick Mahomes in Buffalo and showing that he's the guy that can get an average group of wideouts over the hump as Mahomes has done already twice. CJ has an addition of Diggs into a room that seemed flawless as far as a bunch of young cats on the same page. How does that affect the room with Tank Dell's return and Mitchie's return? And then you add Diggs to the fold on a second-year guy with a book out on him. That's my only take. Those two a lot of folks won't understand that besides us three in the room right now talking, but a lot of folks won't grasp the fact that they're very similar, in my opinion, heading into 24 because both have different rooms, even though CJ has a similar room, but they have added something that Allen has lost. And now Allen has to do what CJ did last year, and now CJ has to do what Allen has done in the past, win multiple playoff games. So that's
here's what's interesting and kind of plays to your Stafford point. He's already created one superstar. Nobody knew who Nico Collins was until CJ Stroud got there. Now, Nico's a baller.
And he got paid.
But he got there with CJ, and he turned into a top 10 wide receiver real quick. I mean, so you gave that as one of the points with Stafford. So if he takes Diggs and turns Diggs back into the elite Minnesota Vikings Diggs, that's another feather in his cap.
But we're talking three.
I saw some OTA film. I saw some OTA film, but they're looking good, JB.
Hey, Shaun, we're talking Megatron and Cooper Kupp, 2 Hall of Famers, and you just took a rookie in Nakua and got him the record. Come on, man. We're talking Matthew. Whatever Matthew touches turns gold. Let's be real. That's way high. That's way too low. I mean, there's not 5 guys better than Matthew Stafford after Mahomes. Even if you have Mahomes at 1, Stafford's clearly 2. Come on, man. It's ridiculous.
No. It's a different conversation. If the conversation is ball spinner, okay, cool. But you're talking about just overall, best quarterbacks. don't think Shaun's crazy for having Josh Allen above him right now, or Burr.
So,
The names he has, that's not crazy.
I just want to be clear with Shaun, though, that our criteria, Smitty, when we did this was what they've done, what they did last year, transitioning into this year, and then what the roster or current construction is going into 24. That is why I think the Rams, I think both of us would agree, or three of us would agree, they're ascending. I think the Rams are much better than we thought they would be at this time after the Super Bowl, after they had to deplete that roster and start over. They lose Aaron Donald. They address it in the draft. They got better offensively. I think they're Stafford healthy, like I said, is as good as anybody. So I think the Rams are going to compete really hard with the Niners in that division and be a real playoff contender. That's my opinion. Same with Goff in Detroit. I think what he did last year, 2 drop balls away from another Super Bowl in Detroit, I think he has to get that going forward into a year with St. Brown, who just signed a big deal, with a good roster around him, young. I think Goff needs to be in there. And then Jordan Love, what he did, sitting behind Aaron. But I get Shaun's points at Utah State and C.J. Stroud's Ohio State. I get those points, but he also hasn't sit for 4 years behind Aaron Rodgers and saw it. And I give that a lot of creed nowadays in this era. We don't see it no more. That's why I think the quarterback struggles in this current landscape, because we throw them in bad rosters right away, and then we shit on them when they don't do well right out the gate, hence Justin Fields. So that is just where I'm at.
Out of all my lists, if there was one that I probably could have had higher, it was Jordan Love.
That's the one.
And
I would argue maybe Dak are just a few notches too, maybe, because you got Kirk probably about 4 or 5 spots ahead of Dak, and I look at Kirk and Dak like damn near eye to eye. Hey, speaking of Stafford though, real quick, JB, before we go, I know CJ Stroud had a video where he's actually talking about Stafford. Bailey, if you got that video, can we show it real quick?
He might be up there with Brady and them, bro.
No, come on.
No,
dog.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
that was
crazy.
crazy.
Let me go back. Hey, because look, I'm a look, dog. Hold on, before you do all this extra shit, I'm a student of the game. Stafford a dog.
He is a dog.
No, you don't understand, bro. You saying that? That's all I watch. I don't watch nobody else. I watch Mahomes at times because Mahomes does some stuff that like you can't coach. Stafford, dog, he will beat you with the same thing every time. All that no lick stuff, I got that from bruh. Like, literally, that's one of my big, like, I'm a fan of his. Like,
if
when I
he's
go to
a
LA,
great quarterback.
I be trying to find, bro.
But
Like, we
it's
got the same
levels of
trainers. I be
greatness.
trying to, like, go to where they working out and just watch.
That's all I'm
He
saying.
elite, dog.
Like Charles Barkley.
If you, hold on. If you give Matthew Stafford a chance like Aaron Rodgers, I guarantee he might have had more rings, for sure.
I think I've said it.
Matthew Stafford had more rings than Aaron Rodgers.
I think I've
Oh,
said
yeah, he
that.
had another
I
ring
think I've
probably.
No,
said
I'd say he
that.
had.
Hold on. I'm the
said
first
that,
one
bro.
to say
You
it.
said that. You
Hey,
said
Shaun,
that.
I've been the first one to say it.
You
If
said
you would have
that.
gave that dude a real team 5 years earlier, he may be on our Mount Rushmore talking about he's got 4 rings. And he would have been ahead of Aaron Rodgers in his own division.
Damn.
Like, just think about it. Aaron Rodgers has choked off. Like, before you get out of here, I got to end this with you. How do you judge your Mount Rushmore? Because is Aaron Rodgers, does he have to win one more Super Bowl, A, to be even considered? And B, do you differentiate the difference between him being probably the best ball spinner of all time versus the best winner of all time? We could argue he's one of the best losers of all time. So, like, how do you balance that? Like, if he wins another Super Bowl, are you going to consider him in anything top 5 for you?
Well, first of all, he's not going to win another Super Bowl, so I won't be faced with that dilemma. And he's not only not on the Mount Rushmore, he's not in line for the Mount Rushmore. Like, what are we talking about? Like, Aaron Rodgers has done less with more than any great quarterback we've ever seen.
And that's my point. Yeah.
Like, all of these playoff failures in Green Bay have been home games where he hadn't played well in the playoffs. So
Tampa, they should have beat Tampa with Brady when they won it. They should have beat
can't give him a
Frisco.
pass, and he's got a quirkiness to him. Like, he's not even close to me. He's not even up there. Like, to me,
And so if he wins a second, which will be
like to me, Brady's the GOAT, but he's not anywhere near the most talented.
So same with me. So here's my thing. You got John Elway in there. He's won 2.
Yeah, I like Elway. Elway,
If Aaron wins the second one, though, what's the difference?
Not close. Not even.
But hold on, no, Tio, that's a good point, JB. Elway respect, lost a lot before he finally, I mean, he got his first ring. What was he, 37, 38 before he got the first, if I'm not mistaken? So I mean, that's a hell of a comp that JB just threw out there though. You got Elway up there. How the hell you don't have Aaron Rodgers in the conversation? It sounds like a little biased to me.
No, because if you go look at how Elway played in those losses, he played at an extremely high level.
Yeah, but he only threw 100
every time. Now they go look at the numbers. I don't know.
He did. Hey, he did what Mahomes did. Y'all be killing me with these stats. He did what Mahomes did when he won. He threw for 108 yards one Super Bowl, and I think he threw for what, 180. Mahomes barely just threw for his first 300-yard game in Super Bowl. That's why I'm not putting Mahomes so high.
But Mahomes was say what you want. Mahomes was the most important offensive player on his team. When I watched John Elway's first ring, Terrell Davis got 3 touchdowns, and he was the MVP of that team.
No,
that's the difference. Context matters. Context matters, JB.
Yeah, it does. And Mahomes was saved by a bad PI and a punt return. What are you talking about? Motherfucker threw for 180 yards against the Eagles, homie. He wasn't the best offensive player. Fucking Travis Kelce was, and so was Pacheco. Get out of here with that shit.
I would say this about
Shaun.
Mahomes before we get out of here. I don't think you can put any of the other 31 quarterbacks in Kansas City and they have had that success.
I do. And I don't think you could take Mahomes out of Kansas City and we'd be talking about him the same. I think you take Mahomes to Chicago. So you're telling me you think Mahomes in Chicago drafted is still Mahomes today? Hell no.
I don't know what that. I don't know what Matt Nagy and I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, your hesitancy said it all. Your hesitancy said it all. There's no way he's a guy in any of these other teams. That's why I'm so big on stop anointing guys so quickly and why we shit on guys so quickly. I'm with you on that side. Like, why are we shitting on Justin Fields on this roster? Bryce Young on this roster? Why Sam Darnold, to me, has not had the fact. Even the Mormon MILF Hunter. You don't know what he is. I'm just saying, though, it's funny how we shitted on Trevor Lawrence year one with a booty-grabbing coach from college. And then year two, he gets a Super Bowl coach and has success, and everyone puts him back up there. And then year three, he has the real book out on him, and he's kind of like, okay, now we don't know where Trevor Lawrence is. This is Trevor Lawrence's shit or get out the pot year right now, this coming up year. So, and then the same thing said about Justin Herbert. We all talk about how great they are talent-wise with Josh Allen, but he's got to shit or get off the pot too. So, like, we're so quick to throw them under the bus, and then we're so quick to anoint them, but we don't look at the roster. We don't look at the talent. We don't look at the franchise and the history of the Bears. We don't look at the history of the Panthers. We don't look at the history of the Jaguars. Like, what have the Jaguars done in the history of their goddamn organization? Nothing.
Byron
But
left
we want to throw the quarterback under the bus so quickly and anoint another guy. You're running to anoint AR5, who was a below 50% completion percentage guy in college, to a guy over someone that's already done it.
Why you keep bringing up AR? Leave AR5 out of this. AR5, man, I ain't brought him up at all during this show. You sound like an Indianapolis Colts fan right now, Jason Brown.
General conversation about what we do in the media about quarterbacks when there's guys that's not like Shaun, not like myself, that really don't understand it. They just go off of what they see with the optic. Oh, hey, he's good. He won. Nah.
Hey, let me. As a Florida boy, I do got to defend Jacksonville because that Tom Coughlin, Mark Brunell, Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell Jaguar team, they did do some things. They didn't win a championship, but they was pretty damn good.
But they didn't win that. They still haven't won nothing in that franchise.
Right.
They were good. Defense was good. All that. I love Brunell. I think Brunell's the second best lefty ever, behind Steve Young and then Stabler's third. That's what my opinion. And then Vic's fourth.
It's a lefty right here too, though.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, 10 years from now, there'll be another lefty that's the best ever played the game. His name is Michael Penix.
We'll see.
Don't forget the junior.
We'll see. We'll see. Shaun, it's always great. You be on Friday?
Yep.
All right, I'll see you Friday with a new list.
All right, guys.
All right, brother. Let's take 5. We got a new commercial. Jeff Nadu will be joining us, I think. And I think he was watching, probably waited for Shaun, and then he'll hit us up after the commercial, and we'll get into that. And then we'll discuss, and we'll re-wrap that conversation. Shaun's always great with that. He's got Stafford low for me. Too low for me. You got Stafford at 2 as well. So
I like Stafford a lot. Yeah,
I don't know about CJ being the best ball player. I love CJ, and I love
me
CJ.
too. You know, but
listen, talking to CJ and knowing CJ, knowing his coaches and
he's
seeing
smart,
him,
he's mature.
it's not even that. Seeing how he was raised out here, it's not even that. He pays homage like no other young QB does, and he's a true student of the game.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no other QBs paying homage to Matthew Stafford. Because CJ knows Stafford played through injury. He played hurt in Detroit. He came out and said, "Fuck that, I'm not going out." He knows all this. These other young cats don't know. Caleb Williams don't know Stafford, what he did. This cat studies the game like an old soul. And that is why you got this weirdo motherfucker doing this weird shit. You think CJ would be out there talking shit about the Colts at a bar?
But in Caleb's defense, Caleb wasn't talking shit. The fans saw that this is a Chicago Bears quarterback is here. They started chanting "fuck Green Bay," and he's trying to become part of the Chicago community. Like we all know that's one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL.
I get it. And then he's in the same day he's hitting a baseball looking like a straight special ed. And listen, bottom line is it's content. We put it out there, but we're the assholes when we show it. It blows my mind. And then you're the assholes who watch it. And then you're the dick riders who comment on it and talk about. I got one guy in the comments on YouTube every day talking about, "This is my last time watching the show." But he says it every day. I thought it was last time 2 months ago, motherfucker. Anyway, let's take a commercial break. We got a hell of a show to finish. We got a lot to discuss still. And it is NBA Finals start this week, Thursday. NHL Finals starts. As the Oilers just wrapped it up last night versus Dallas, they'll be playing Florida, and we got that to discuss. We might just do a whole 50-minute hockey session just to get Smitty out of his comfort zone.
I love hockey.
Brothers on the ice. That's what the new segment's going to be called, Brothers on the Ice. Ooh. And we're going to do straight hockey, and then first of all, Rudolph Van Hoven, you bitch ass little boy. JB ain't never jealous of a motherfucker who paints his nails, homeboy. And guess what? Real G's don't wear titty and tongue rings, homeboy. Take me away. Our democracy, I think, took a hit. I truly do think that they took a hit. I think we took a hit and stepped backwards in life in this country. And I think it's I told Smitty, because Smitty's young in this thing, you're fairly close to an age. And as I get older, I start to look into more politics because it affects my money, my dollar, my investments, my properties. And when you get older, when you're younger, when I was 30, I could give a fuck less about politics. But now that you look at this administration and you see the things that are happening, there's no denying child trafficking is at an all-time cliff. There's no denying it. And I believe one of these guys running for president, which was in a trial yesterday that got convicted of something I think is laughable, versus the other administration who's currently in office. And there's a reason why this is out like that. Ukraine is literally the #1 child trafficking country in the world. And no one wants to talk about it. And we're funding them. Now, are we funding them for that reason? No, I don't know. But the bottom line is the administration as a whole is what I was telling and explaining to Smitty is if you back that administration so heartily and wholeheartedly, and you really think this administration is it, I think there's some delusion. That's all I say. I'm like, you don't have to vote for Trump. You don't have to vote for anybody. All I'm saying is this current administration is clearly pushing one gender to be able to get rid of certain parts and without parental guidance or parental rights. I've never seen that in my life, 48 years. Another guy who wants to be the president is going against it, and that's why they don't want him in there. And then you got a guy who's funding other nations when we have a huge issue with our own veterans. I think that is an administrative issue, and that is what my whole part was.
But here's what I'll say, and you made all very good points there. That has nothing to do with this trial, though, and that's I agree. I agree with you that.
But does it? But does it?
And if Donald Trump is reelected president, I'm sure he's going to make, like Biden did, a very strong move and hoping to get some sort of criminal case against Joe Biden and his family. That said, I agree, though, that Donald Trump was not awarded a fair trial, in my opinion.
Oh,
okay.
I've never seen it.
I mean, to put that venue in New York City, which is arguably the most strong Democratic stronghold in America, with 12 people of his peers, that cannot be. They're biased. I mean, they just are.
Where he's hated at, by the way, and Trump, you know, all the New York money that he's got there, he's hated in New York because of some things he's done.
It would be very hard for him to get a fair trial anywhere. That said, we have to understand the DA, Alvin Bragg, is a funded Democrat. Okay, he's a guy who they handpicked. Right, they handpicked. The city is all Democrat. I think in the last presidential election, it was like 6% Republican, which is insane. You just can't have a fair trial. That said, if you look at the case itself, yes, Donald Trump had sex with a porn star. He then paid her hush money, which who cares, right? However, he, according to them, deceived voters by not disclosing that he was doing it, and then he tried to falsify that it happened through the hush money. That said, the main witness in this case, Michael Cohen, is a convicted criminal and disbarred attorney who spent time in prison. And that, to me, is a bigger, major issue we have, that we accept the testimony of bad people that have committed a lot worse crime. And listen, I deal with it all the time in the mafia world, right, with the mob genre. Sammy the Bull Gravano was convicted and taking part in 19 murders. 19. And because the government hated John Gotti more than him, they were willing to hear what Sammy the Bull said and painted him as this hero, then let him out of prison. He then reoffended and sold ecstasy to children. They gave him another slap in the wrist, and he's now on YouTube talking about all of it. And the thought is, why are we trusting these types of people? Michael Cohen is a slime ball. And how is he believable at any level? And that's also, I think, and that's a major issue with the whole informant thing. Yeah. When do we stop?
And Jeff, you are very well in tune with the courts and how the legal systems work, and I know a lot about it as well, as far as a young knucklehead that had to go through that and understand it. I've actually defended myself in trial without its attorney and whipped the shit out of an attorney, by the way. Yeah, one of my favorite.
Boy, JB.
One of my favorite things in life that I've ever done. Welcome back. Without further ado, this is Merciless Monday. We love having Merciless Monday with Jeff to wrap the show, and on Fridays for free game. Jeff Nadu, join us, the owner and operator of Sit Down Crime Pod. Make sure you follow him on YouTube and TikTok. Jeff, Donald Trump went on TikTok yesterday, 24 hours ago, and gained about 4 million followers overnight. I actually have more than President Biden on TikTok, about 350,000, and he's been on for years. Where are you at with that? How popular he's become since the convictions of the 34 Trump charges?
Well, I don't think it's surprising. I mean, we don't, and I think when we really look at this case, I mean, it is a big nothing burger. I mean, Donald Trump's not going to go to prison over this. He's not going to be let's say he would go to jail, he would self-surrender at a later date. He's not going to go to prison for any long time. He's not going to be on a bracelet for a long time. It's really just kind of a blown out of proportion thing. And we saw how he cared about it. He went and watched UFC, which, listen, for all the people out there that like Joe Biden, and that's fine. I mean, there is no possibility that Joe Biden would get the same reception at that event the way Donald Trump did.
Not that event for sure.
No,
definitely not that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
But that said, real quick, I mean, there's a lot of things. I might go to something and not get a reception. We all.
It depends on exactly the market and yeah.
But those are normal Americans there for the most part. There are people that enjoy.
Yes, that's my point, Jeff. Clearly, there's a guy that the people like, and then there's a guy that in my opinion, a bunch of fucking Stevie Wonders out here just sitting around let's just go with this guy. They gotta be blinded And I'm not saying vote for
so
Trump.
JB, so let me ask you this. So in your opinion, let's keep it real. It's clear cut. Everybody should just vote for Trump. Like it's not even because I've been adding up this over the weeks of us talking about these, these Trump, Biden, these conversations. And what I'm piecing together from you, and I know you're not left, right. You just an independent thinker. But for what I'm adding up from everything you said, it sounds like you just saying like you're dumb for voting for Biden. Is what it sounds like.
Well, I would never vote for Biden. I would never vote, period. But here's my take about it, though. Like a few years ago, I was talking about this with people, and they were on the fence, like a lot of people are for some reason now, right? The number one take I got from them was the lesser of two evils.
Yep.
I'm voting Biden because it's the lesser of two evils, because we don't really have, out of 400 million Americans, two legitimate candidates under 80 who are not weirdo fucking creeps. That is what they took out of it. They went with a lot of people say that still. Yeah. They went with so now guess what? They're going to go with the lesser of two evils again after 4 years of Biden, and they're going to go with Trump. So, like, that's the crazy part, how it switched in just 4 years from fucking 4 years prior. So
I think people also look at Donald Trump as, Joe Biden is part of the normal establishment, right? The same old politician, been there for 30, 40 years, whatever. And I think that was always the thought with Donald Trump is he's not like them, right? He's different. He's gonna, he doesn't hang with that cohort. And he didn't for a long time. But I agree with Coach. Like, I think in 2020, a lot of people said, well, Donald has been all right, but he really bundled this, C-19 thing, or he didn't take it serious. And people were like, we need a change. And now I think we're kind of back to the point of, wow, okay, we did that for 4 years. This country is significantly different at certain levels. Now, do I think it's all Joe Biden that's caused that? No. I think if you think that, I think you're kind of, brain dead. But at the end of the day, I think people like myself, right, that maybe didn't vote or maybe voted one way, well, now we're starting to say, okay, well, let's maybe go with the other option, because this option, I don't like what has resulted from it. So I would be blown away if Joe Biden wins. That's just my opinion.
I would too at this point.
I think we have to realize
it's interesting though. Like a lot of times I just sit back and just listen, because like I got people, I'm not gonna say names at all, but I got like people behind the scenes at work who are still heavily pro Biden. And if you talk to them, they'll list out like all these points of why Biden should be voted for versus Trump, and some of the stuff makes sense. And then you'll go talk to somebody else, and they'll list out the reason why Trump's. So that's why I don't know. That's why shit just fucking confusing to me.
Listen, honestly. And like I said, I told Smitty, Jeff, and I don't know if this pertains to you. You're a little older, but this is a thing that when you get older, you start to have property, and you have to worry about real deal taxes, and you have to deal with all this. You start to really think who's president. When you're younger, it's like, it'll get better. Country will fill itself out. We'll figure it out. Right now, we're in a precipice, I call it. It's a precipice. We're on the teeter-totter of the end of this bitch, in my opinion. Like, we're dealing with so many other things, and we're so spread thin right now that we're never been this vulnerable in our entire existence. Not in my 48 years, maybe not ever in the country's. We've always been at least stronghold on our soil. Meaning we're not going to be invaded. We're going to hold our shit down. Right now, dog, I don't know. Like, it seems like we're not only being invaded, we're infiltrated from within like I've never seen before. And
my question for you guys real quick is, and not to cut you off, Nadu, I'm sorry. It's a real quick question. Like, in you guys' opinion, what do you think will happen so option A, let's say if Biden wins again, right? What do we think will happen with this country? Or
Civil war.
And then option B, what will happen if Trump wins? Like, are you guys expecting like a huge fucking turnaround like this, or like what are we expecting? I guess what I'm saying is I don't see nothing major happening either fucking way.
But there's one thing you can do immediately, and that is shut down the border, which is very destructive. That's one thing I think as long as you're not an extreme lunatic, right? Whether you're left or right, I think we can all agree that just allowing people to pour into the country undocumented is extremely destructive. And you know what? It continues to really backfire, because now you're starting to see today 2 NYPD cops shot in New York City. Guess who it was? A Venezuelan immigrant that crossed the border several weeks ago.
That's 120,000 were just let into San Diego.
It's just really because it also it affects everybody, right? Whether you live in California, whether you live in Illinois, whether you live in New York, wherever. That stuff, like certain people aren't affected by the economy, right? They just have money and they don't care, right? It doesn't affect people. But yeah, I think it would get real bad if Joe Biden won again, because that's another 4 years of,
Here's why. This is why there is a difference. Number one. Number one is the border. Number one. I think Trump definitely would change that. That is a fact. It would change. Number two, getting rid of the illegals and getting them back out of here, right? Getting our country at least a little bit more safe as far as walkable. If you haven't noticed, dog, there's shit that's going down that I've heard of a few things. Number one, Oakland, California is a third world country right now.
But that's not going to be changed by the president.
No,
I hate to tell you, but Oakland's been dangerous for Philadelphia's been dangerous.
Yeah.
It's the mayor, people like that.
But listen, but it's also the governor who is either right or left winged as far as what their state policy is. In this state, California, our governor is literally wanting to be the next president in 4 years from now, and he is now putting this left-wing policy in place, period. If a guy's walking down the street pushing a fucking ice cream truck and trying to make a living, 70 years old, and 4 young fucking idiots run up on him at gunpoint, which happened last night, and jack him and beat him, there's a fucking problem. And I think Trump addresses the police. I think he addresses the other things that says, hold on, we're going to put some stricter deals in here with your governors. We're going to tell your governors, hey, man, this ain't going to go this way. And I know it won't change overnight. I know. I get it.
But this is California's been a Democratic stronghold for years.
Oh, I get it. But listen, this is a very, very big optic. It's I think we look at it as an optic. We're the most populous state in the union, California, by far. It's not even close. Top to bottom, we have more people than any one other state. Yeah. The optic is we're Democratic because it's been that way for so long as far as the electoral votes go. Let's just be real. Every year it's a guaranteed Democrats going to get that state. The bottom line is there's more right-leaning folks in this state that you just don't see or hear about because it's so populous and you don't see the actual votes. You just say, oh, it's blue. When really, in theory, dog, everywhere I go in California, places I go at least, are red as fuck. And no one talks about it. And I think there's a lot of states that way leaning. Look how many Democrats just left their party and went to Republican. 2 of them in California, which is huge, by the way, because of all the pedo we got going on here, the trafficking that we're allowing here, all kind of shit. And I don't want to turn it into a huge political thing, but here's the number one point I'll make to Smitty's thing. Not only will the border be changed, in my opinion, also, in my opinion, we're on the precipice of several different wars, not just our own, but world wars by other countries. I think Trump can put a flame out there because
bureaucratic issues prevent the president from doing anything in cities. That's the issue you have here. States can't be told what to do. They still have it's just like, for instance, where there are certain states in the union that are really safe, right? They are all about crime and punishment, and there are states that don't. We have to get away. And notice they're starting to walk back a lot of these folks, this defund the police stuff, right? That does not work in a civilized society. It never will. We have to have the police. We can do away with certain types of policing, but until we, address the root causes of why this stuff goes on, a president's, to me, not going to change that. It might be a little better, but
I agree, but I disagree because of this. At the end of the day, California, which is its own economy, is still federally funded and needs Biden's support. Governor Newsom's gotten billions of dollars from Biden for a lot of shit here, especially the homeless, and we don't even know where that fucking money went. If Trump or whoever else is in office, it starts to change the narrative of voters in the state to feel more comfortable to come out and say, you know what, I've never been left, but I've been forced that way because our federally funded state is leaning left because our president is left. That is what people don't want to discuss. And I think that
we have a bigger issue, Jeff, and I was told off the air, and I'm not going to bring it up, but there's some things being hidden out there that I know for a fact has happened. We had a base, and I'm just throwing it out there, dog, that was infiltrated, and we had to defend on this country's soil. And no one's talked about it. You ain't heard it from nobody. I know for a fact that it happened, and it was on the East Coast, and we had a shitload of illegals try to take over a base, a naval base. I'm just throwing it out there, dog. It hasn't reached anything. No one's heard of it at all. And I ain't heard it from nobody. But I know for a fact it's happened, and I've verified it from several people inside the armed forces. It happened. There's a problem, homie, right now in this country. I'm just telling you right now. And no one's discussing it. And I believe at some point the border and the fear or the we're all on eggshells because we might be in a war soon. And there's a war going on right now, Jeff. We all know it. We just haven't declared it as a war. It's a war, though. And we don't. And I think Trump can put out that fire. That's just my take.
Well, I think long term, we have to really care about as I've said time and time again, there are a lot of people that are coming here that are attempting to live the American dream, but there are a lot of people that are coming here that are bad people, right? Mm-hmm. And countries like Venezuela, living there is a hellscape, right? So the bad people that are committing crimes that are coming here. I mean, you look at drug cartels. I mean, they run street gangs in this country, all right? That's just the truth. The Bloods, the Crips, they're all getting their narcotics from cartels. They run them. And eventually they're going to start having bases of operation here. I'm not going to say it's ever going to become like it is in Mexico, but if you don't think they're profiting off of this and creating, how many other kind of groups are coming here? Terrorists, bad people. Look, I'll tell you right now, if I were a criminal and I couldn't make no money where I was and I could come here and it wouldn't be a big deal, I'd come here. Why wouldn't I? You could do whatever you want. And then when you come here, they don't even put you in jail. They just let you out right away.
Yeah.
So
I want to transition this into a segment with you two right now. Make it make sense. And I want it's a perfect segue for what we're discussing right now before we get back into sports to end it. But this is just real talk, and that's why we're a real show. We're not just a sports show all the time. 90% of the time we are. And we're about to be in a new studio, which is sports focused, of course. That's very, very close to being launched. So we're right there at the end of it. If Smitty ever would get off his ass and help me, we'd be in there already. So here's the take.
Too busy.
And and here's the take. I'm just kidding, but we will be in the studio soon, Jeff. But I want to make it make sense. Bailey, bring in my theme music.
It's Compton in the house. Without a doubt. It's Compton in the house. Without a doubt. It's Compton in the house.
All right, here we go. If I don't vote, why complain? Because guess what? I have an opinion, and I can still have an opinion if I don't vote. Just FYI. If you didn't realize that, I don't want to really hear your mouth. Because guess what? I don't give a fuck if I don't vote. I'm talking.
Also, not for nothing. Even if you did vote, it wouldn't really matter. California,
it doesn't matter. I try to. These fucks don't get it.
California's done.
All right, make it make sense, Jeff. And Smitty, I want to know. And Smitty may not know what this means. Jeff, you may. You're more in tune to this stuff. You do shows on this stuff. But breaking. This is breaking news. The U.S. government plans to launch a heavily criticized federal ID program called Real ID. A lot of you out there know what it is. You've heard of it. You may have one if you're in California. It is for domestic air travel, and it begins May 7th, 2025. Less than 12 months away. We will be banning all adults from domestic flights unless you have or replaced your traditional state-issued ID, such as a driver's license or a birth certificate or passport, with real IDs, raising significant concerns about privacy and state surveillance. This is dangerous and implications for state surveillance and citizens' privacy, which is a real thing, people. This move towards Real ID underscores a very troubling trend of increased state surveillance and diminishing citizens' privacy. As we approach the 25 deadline, it's crucial to critically assess the implications of this program and reach out to your local and state legislature that Jeff talks about on this show quite often. And just understand the ACLU warns that by converting driver's licenses into national identity documents.
I gotta say, I mean,
Hold on. Finish.
These are all you folks that have an issue with this are the same people that have this fucking phone and do everything with it. And you give your information to several thousand companies a month, but you're worried because the government's going to watch me a little more. Like they're not already doing it. Every fucking phone call you have is looked at by the NSA. Come on, man. Like,
and listen, I'm getting there too because I'm with you. Real IDs will though have devastating impacts on our future because phones aren't used to get on a plane, Jeff. As private citizens, just be clear though, we need to wake up because our food is being attacked, our water supply, fruit, and now our privacy. Just throwing it out there. Our phones are not IDs, Jeff. Your phones are not an ID to get on a plane, though. Let's just keep it real. You have to get a real ID in California. The most populous state requires a real ID going forward to get on an airplane. We are the first state.
This is
what will the? Because I've been hearing about this real ID for a long ass time. I just didn't understand what's the difference of that compared to my driver's license? Like, is there like what's on there that's going to be so taxing?
Nothing really.
No, it is different, Jeff.
Like
it is
what?
different.
Like
the
what?
real ID. If you look at a real ID compared to a driver's license, it is completely different. It has a what do you call it in the back? A hologram.
But you were just talking about like, wouldn't this be a better way to identify who's a American and who's illegal?
No. Time out. This is why it's not. Because the illegals are not required to do it. That is the whole point of a real
They're
ID.
not citizens.
But they're allowed to vote and get a debit card. They're
not allowed to vote. That's a fucking
They are.
myth.
They
No,
just
it
cleared
isn't.
it in several states. Washington, D.C., Jeff, our fucking nation's capital, has cleared it. What do you mean?
You're telling me that a person that walks into this country 2 weeks ago can vote. They're not citizens.
They're allowing them to. Yes. Jeff, they're bringing them in the country to vote. What do you mean?
American citizens cannot vote, bro.
Huh?
Non-American citizens cannot vote.
Bro.
So if you're not a citizen, you can't vote.
Jeff, I'm telling you, look at the states that just cleared it. Washington, D.C., I believe Pennsylvania and Ohio. Go look at the states. You can Google it. Go look at the states that are allowing it.
This is a fucking red talking point that is a fucking lie. It just is. Illegals are not fucking voting. Okay, they can't. It's a fucking against the. You can't vote. It's just like if you have a felony, you can't vote. Right? There are certain things you can't do. If you're a felon, you can't own a gun. A fucking immigrant or an illegal immigrant from Venezuela that walks into this country cannot vote. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
Yeah. When the government and our federal mail is sending illegals voters' cards, what does that tell you? You think they're just doing it for shits and giggles? I'm just telling you, dog. When it happens, what are you going to say? That's all I want to know. I'm not picking on you.
I think this is and I'm not saying you're pushing this. I think this is the misinformation that I get off the boat with. I'm not going to just strengthen this bullshit by putting it out because I don't agree that illegal immigrants should be coming to this country undocumented, but I'm not going to push a bullshit narrative that they're going to vote too. Listen, I get this government's corrupt and they can be corrupt, and they've done it for years. When Kennedy got elected, they fucked with the vote. I don't believe it, but
I've said it. But listen, you can literally do research. It just came out. There was a big old thing yesterday.
But what does that mean? Research is not Googling it. I'm not saying
no. I'm talking about what actually came out yesterday. That DC itself, the state's capital, it has sent out voting cards to illegal aliens that have been issued $1,600 debit cards and a cell phone with an ID to vote. It's out there. So I want to say, and I want to say falsely, I want to say Pennsylvania is also on that list, and that's why I want to bring it up to you. But it's about, in my opinion, it's to drive the taxes up, which are, if you haven't looked at New York and California, it is absolutely at an all-time high. If you look at the taxes, California is through the roof, New York is through the roof, and these are your two most populous states who have the most crime right now at an all-time clip. Now, to me, that's not a conspiracy. That's a fact. It's been that way. And guess what? To Jeff's point, I agree with Jeff. It's because we are the most populous as well. Numbers matter. I mean, of course, we're going to have more crime than fucking Montana. I get it. I'm not dumb. But I'm just telling you the truth of the matter is, why are the two most populous states with so much influence and economics being driven this way. That's all I'm saying. Like, it makes no sense that a felon before couldn't vote but now we have an illegals that are allowed to vote. Like, I'm trying to figure that out, dog. That's what I don't agree with. That's all I'm saying.
And then real quick with the real ID stuff, because like I was trying to look at it, because like again, I've been talking about this real ID shit. It's been talking about for a long ass time. Like, so I was trying to see what it would look like. So in California, they said if you have the marking of the California grizzly bear with a star in the top right hand corner, then your driver license / ID is a real ID, and you have the correct one. That's why I got up in the middle of the show to go get my wallet. I have that. So I think I technically have a real ID right now already.
I don't think
my driver license has the grizzly bear with the star, the top right hand corner.
I don't think you do, because did you actually request and fill out the forms to get a real ID?
I can't remember. I was at the damn DMV for fucking 8 hours, JB, and I had to get my Cali license, so I don't know what I don't know.
I know. Time out. You have a passport, correct?
Yes.
I don't believe you have a real ID, because your passport's tied in. You're a California resident. If you have a passport and then you have an ID, your passport's probably on that ID, and that's probably what you're seeing, that little deal. The real ID is a hologram with a different inscription on the front and the back. I just got a real ID because they made me. It's fucking funny. My birthday in February, my license expired, and I had to get a new one. And I went in there. Luckily, I have a good record, so I didn't have to redo anything but take a picture. And they gave me a real ID.
I'm pretty sure.
in California,
I obviously can't show my shit, obviously. But
yeah. In California,
I think I'm pretty sure I got a real ID, JB.
Yeah. In California, if you renew your ID, it's automatically going to be a real ID.
Right.
So
right. And I'm saying I got my shit late here because I had my Indiana shit for years, and so I got my Cali license probably like 2 years ago. It hasn't been that long, is what I'm trying to say. So I think they automatically gave me a real ID, is what I'm saying. So I don't know. I back to my original point. I'm just looking at my ID, and I just don't see that much of a difference between that and my previous ID. So that's why I was a little confused when you said this is going to lead to them having more information or more, like, I don't know.
You know, the one concern, and this is a really major problem I've noticed in America that we have begun to accept, and we now push the same bullshit, is no one in this country from a leadership standpoint can lose. They don't believe in losing. They never lose. They never do anything wrong. And when they lose, it was made up. It was fixed. No one can just say, like, these people, look, do I believe Joe Biden won? They said he did. Who the fuck knows? But not everything's a fucking conspiracy with all these people. They don't believe anything. They run with a narrative because they heard it on fucking Fox News. Fox News is not a credible news source. CNN is not a credible news source.
And I brought that shit up to JB. I said, depending who you listen to, they're going to be biased either left or right. Both. It depends who you listen
to. They're not.
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like,
and you
by the way, though, hold on, though.
Right.
That's what pays them, by the way. So understand, we all know what drives everything is money, right? So here's the thing, though. There's a very, very credible source out there that I can't name right here, but CNN is driving, if you haven't noticed, the Trump narrative. You know why? Because CNN's numbers are all-time low with the Biden ones. Yeah. So they need a Trump push, even though they are left-winged. They need a Trump push to boost their money. So CNN has been pushing Trump lately, if you notice, and there's the CNN people taking Trump's side on things, and people are like, whoa, what's going on at CNN? So, like, that's my whole point about this thing. It's all money-driven and money-laced. And at the end of the day, I don't know. To Jeff's point, okay, conspiracy theorist is one thing, but also on the other side is being devil's advocate.
But none of these people...
but here's my point. I wouldn't say not question everything either, though. I'm not saying that,
but none of... But there, I've never met either, like, extremes on both sides. I've never met one person that says, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong on this. Like again, as far as I know, there is nothing that points that a illegal immigrant who is not a citizen can go vote. There's no law that's there that says that. None. But these people have heard it, and someone told them it, so they run with it. This is it's concerning. And immediately, if you mention to me these stupid conspiracies that aren't true, I immediately and there's some people in this chat that do it. And I
where you at with the Alex Jones thing? FBI raided his Austin office. Here's my take. Listen,
I'm not a full Alex Jones guy. I'm not a full believer. He said some things that have been right, just like I have. He's also said a lot of things that have been wrong, just like I have. Let's just be real. I'm not a huge Alex Jones believer, but I know he has said a lot of things years ago that have come true now. And you look at that and say, damn, he was the only person that said these things politically and was right. But here's the thing. When does it become illegal to share or spread your opinion and not be rated? I've never seen a cat be hushed as much as this guy, though.
Because he slanders people and says shit that's not fucking true. That's what.
Yeah, but he's also said things about global entities, not just individuals.
Alex Jones is a fucking lunatic, and he should be committed to a fucking mental institution. Okay?
But you and I, we do a show. Jeff, you do a show. You're not being rated by the
But I don't sit there and neither do you. I don't sit there and say that the Sandy Hook shooting never happened and it was this. It's fucking and look what happened. He got fucking bitch slapped and sued for what, $1 billion?
Yeah, and went bankrupt. But so did Donald Trump. So did Donald Trump. I'm just saying, dog. Listen, that whole Sandy Hook thing, I'm not going to get into because I have a whole take that's true, and also with a guy that I actually coached and knew. And Chris Dorner, I also know wasn't true, but that's conspiracy that a lot of people won't have that conversation about. You don't want to have that conversation with me because I know facts that no one does. And
about what? Christopher Dorner?
Yeah, Christopher Dorner.
Oh, you mean the guy that killed the family of police?
Yeah, but the same guy that we don't have a body on that we have fake teeth on in Big Bear, California, right?
Did he not kill innocent people though of a family of a police?
Can I give you some secret though?
Did he do that?
No. Can I give you a secret?
No.
Can I tell you a secret?
Oh, shit.
You know Christopher Dorner, I coach, right? You know he's from here. Went to Buena Park. He went to La Palma Kennedy High School. Just throwing out there, one of my best friends, Ryan, went to school with him. You know that dude? We were at his funeral. Just throwing that out there. Before he shot somebody and killed him. Now, how the fuck is that possible, homie? Like, just throwing out there. I'm a conspiracy guy, but I know who the fuck's funeral I was at. And I know that wasn't Christopher Dorner in Big Bear. I know that. And guess what? It happened right after fucking Sandy Hook. Just throwing it out there. So, in my conspiracy theories, no. But at the same time, I question shit. And I do question the fact that the Oregon kicker at the time, during Sandy Hook, Twitter was deleted on the spot when he said, "Why are you saying my sister's dead? I'm with her right here." She was a victim on the Sandy Hook murder case. So she did not die, but she was dead on record. So just throwing it out there. And by the way, later, he's dead. So listen, I don't know. I'm just throwing some real shit out there that I know for a fact that happened, that didn't happen. And we're sitting there not questioning it, believing everything we see on two networks you just questioned, CNN and Fox. So if we're going to question those networks, why aren't we questioning what's really going on? And I'm just throwing it out.
But I don't watch those networks. And
I get it. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just telling you, dog. There's a lot of shit out there that we don't.
But my question to you is, in a grand scheme, is anything real? Then is anything real? Anything that happens, is it real?
But isn't that your right to question it though?
I mean,
listen, I'm not gonna say I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a fucking flat earther. I'm not all that bullshit. I'm just saying, can you not question it without getting canceled? Is my point. We're canceling folks for questioning shit. Like, I'm just saying, that's a thing that we've made more relevant over the last 20 years than we've ever had before.
We fell off the wagon when we started giving Alex Jones a platform to spew the shit that he has.
But Jeff, we've had
50 years ago, he would have been committed.
But we've had guys like this forever. Look, we've had Jim Rome of all people talking crazy shit on a sports show before. We've had certain people. We've always had these weirdos out there with huge platforms. Why all of a sudden are we canceling and rating them? I just don't understand. Like, we've never deplatformed anyone before, though. We're deplatforming this guy not only once but twice. So I'm just throwing it out there. I don't want to die being naive, I guess. I at least want to question everything.
It's a shame. It's a shame that we have someone that invalidates people because he believes people are actors. These are people. These are little kids and teenagers that have gone through awful events, And we got to hear this fucking lunatic coming out. Oh, you know.
And I get what you're saying about questions. So, like, yeah, you shouldn't be naive to just believe every little thing that happens. But I think it's a balance, though, too. Like everything doesn't have some other underlying story behind it, and then some shit does, though. So, yeah, I think it's okay to question it, but you also should. In my opinion, I also don't think you should just assume it's some deeper, crazier shit behind everything. Some stuff,
nothing's real. Nothing.
Some stuff is 2 + 2 is 4, and that's just what it is.
But you're saying that as if there's nothing else on the other side. That's my whole thing. I've literally seen people that were paid to act as if they were getting bombed in one area, and then later they're on the same place at another place, the same two people. And it's like, wait up. How are you over there in Israel and then you're in Ukraine and you're acting as if you're Ukrainian one day and then you're Israeli the other day? Same two people. It's been proven. So, like, that's weird, isn't it? That's true, though. It happened. I saw it. So I'm trying to figure out if we can't question that.
I don't remember that ever happening. But,
I've seen it. But I'm saying, I don't just sit around and just make it up. I actually have seen it, or I wouldn't say it out my ass. That would be ignorant. And I'm just saying, I've seen these things before. And I'm like, well, I'm going to at least question it if it's true. Like we acting like Pride Month this month is Pride Month. And then we question Black History Month and we act like racism never occurred. Racism's real, right, Smitty?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I thought everything was fucking fake.
What do you mean? That's a horrible example right there. Like we literally see it. Like we literally saw it. Like that's a horrible example.
But I'm saying you're asking me not to question shit. Like I can't.
Well, I'm not asking you that. I didn't ask you that. I said it's okay to question that. I'm just saying. Oh God,
I'm just saying like we're asking is like we do know things are true though. Like we do understand that things were real and we can question, but we live in this box that we want to make sure that everything's hunky-dory and everything's going to be okay. Instead of saying, man, if you guys both think that this is the same country that it was, let's just say 10 years ago, you guys are delusional, bro. This ain't the same country, dog. Let's just be real. It's not.
I think we're delusional too. Just assume that 10 years ago or 20 years ago, the country was just great and amazing, and it was just everything. Everybody was fair, and it's been bullshit since the beginning of how we even took this country from the jump. So this whole "Make America Great" and all this other shit, we've been on bullshit. So I'm just saying, let's be consistent. Like let's not act like we
nothing ever is real.
Like,
it's all
super good 20 years ago. No, it wasn't. It's been on bullshit.
You know who believes in conspiracies? Fucking losers that have nothing going on in their life and they blame everybody for everything. Nobody's doing nothing in life, so let's blame the government because we're not successful. Shut the fuck up. Go out and get a fucking job and do it just like everybody else.
And then my last thing too, I'm cool with questioning shit, but let's just we gonna question. Let's question both sides, question everything. Let's not question stuff only when it feeds
exactly
our belief already. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you brought up the election already about people saying that it was rigged. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it was rigged. But I bet you if
some jerk off in Nebraska know that something that we don't.
But I bet you if Trump wins this election, which I think he won't nobody say it was rigged. Because
of course
who they want to win.
Of course not.
So it's like my 100%. Thing is I'm cool with it, but let's just keep the same conspiracy or thoughts with everything, and I'll sit back.
But what I said before is these folks cannot lose. They can, as you just said, if Trump loses, it's a conspiracy. We didn't really lose. And if they win, nope, completely fine. We love the American voting system. We're glad we have it. You know, it's always like this. That's how it works.
And that's really my only point. I'm cool with everything else, but just keep that same energy is all I'm saying with everything.
If some of you folks put as much time as you do looking into fucking conspiracies, when you maybe put this into your job or something, I'm sure you would be more well off. You ever notice the people that believe in all these fucking conspiracies are all the same types of people? They're lunatics, all of them, every one of them. And yeah, if the shoe fucking fits you in the chat, yeah, I'm talking about you.
I got horrible news, man, just now. One of my friends I grew up with, who's a legend, just died. Larry Allen, man. The great Larry Allen, yes, Hall of Famer Larry Allen just died in Mexico.
Wait, Cowboys, Larry Allen?
What happened? Like,
I don't know. One of our friends we just grew up with just hit me up, and he said it's probably out there already, or it's out there. Larry Allen just died, bro.
The Cowboys. They posted 11 minutes ago.
Compton legend, grew up together. I'm gonna hit Marcellus up right now. Tank, everybody that knew him. I don't know how he died. I haven't heard. He said they're looking at the family has it on hush. God damn. Larry had a son that played at De La Salle High School up north. Big time recruit, big time player. It is out. God damn.
They posted about 11 minutes ago. The Cowboys said he was on vacation with his family in Mexico and said he passed away suddenly.
Damn, 52.
Damn, man, I hate to hear that, man. Rest in peace to a legend. I didn't know him personally. Obviously, JB did, and prayers up for his family. And I couldn't imagine being on vacation with your pops or whoever he was with, and then like this happens. This is crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. Hopefully Janelle is his wife. Hopefully they're good as kids. Larry Jr. or the Larry the Third, I believe. Damn, that's crazy. I can't believe that. I don't know.
Man, that's young, 52. That is.
Jeff, we'll end the show. Jeff, I just want to. I want to get your take though, because this is a crazy. We're going to always disagree and have agreements. That's what I think we create great conversation, why the show's so real. But I got to ask you, like, we're not questioning anything out there, but Dr. Fauci has been on record saying what he said about C-19, the shot, etc. This is fact, came out. He's now admitting to lying about the shot, about C-19, about kids wearing masks. Is this not something we should question?
Hold on.
I'm just saying, we got a guy. I'm just going to be clear here. We got a guy that is literally.
Did he admit it? Because based upon what I'm reading right now.
He admitted it, and it's on record. We already know he's on record saying it. I want to be clear. This is a guy that set this country, in my opinion, back by spreading this scare tactic. And I don't believe it's him by himself, obviously. I'm not blaming just him. But is he not held to the same standard as a former president? Why is this guy, who is, we can argue, has been contributing to a lot of death and scare tactics, why isn't he not being thrown into the fire and being put in front of a jury? I want to know. Because to me, it's a fair question to ask. We got a guy that's done this to our country and our people, who now people are going to be in the chat saying, Larry Allen got the shot. He died. And we're going to use those conspiracies and not question Fauci, but we'll question Trump. See, that's where I have this. We either got to be all in on the question or all out. So that's my whole thing. Like,
no, that's what I just said.
Y'all saying we don't question nothing, or y'all saying
no? What you just said hit the nail on the head. I'm saying what you said. If we gonna question it, cool.
Yeah,
I'm
also
question the full scope of everything. No, I'm saying what we all do. If we keep it all the way real, we question shit that counters our beliefs or which side we're leaning on, but we don't counter it when shit is going in the way that you want it to go. A lot of times we're not, like, again, when you jumped off, I said, I bet if Trump wins the election this year, ain't nobody gonna be like, oh, the fucking election was rigged, man. He should have. Nah, he gonna be like, nah, it's Trump won. But if Trump loses, off the rip, it was rigged. Like, people do that when it's anti whatever, and that's just one example. But when it's anti whatever their beliefs are, you question it. But when it works your favor, you don't. Go ahead, Nadu.
Also remember, too, I said major things like conspiracy theories along the lines of school shootings didn't happen and they were crisis. I'm talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, saying that Sandy Hook was false, all that kind of shit. Obviously, there's things that the government does that are extremely concerning, right? And this is a prime example. Anthony Fauci has been proven time and time again to be ineffective in his role as whatever the fuck he was. He said one thing and done another. He said one thing 4 years ago, and now today he's walking it back. He is not believable. And I don't know that he ever was.
Hey, but by the way, if you haven't
I'm not saying that we can ever believe, we should believe every single thing the government tells us. The government is fucked. And I've said that time and time again, and I don't support either side.
But
That's
like,
you fucking idiots don't seem to understand. You people in the chat.
And we got to get out of here for multiple reasons, but I want to end it like this. I appreciate you guys. And listen, that's why I love doing the show with you guys. Here's the thing. Arizona yesterday, who's been a blue state for a long, long time, just turned red legally on paper, just declared Trump the president's winner of the election in 20 because of the falsified votes. And Detroit, Michigan, and Atlanta, Georgia is also on the verge of doing the same thing. So there is something going on. And that's my whole point about questioning it, because there were votes that have come out now that have said that there was stolen or lied or what have you. So Atlanta is a huge Georgia city that was voting. Detroit as well, and so is the state of Arizona, I'm sorry. So I'm just saying, they declared. They wouldn't declare for no reason. So I'm just saying, that's fact. It's out there. It's not a conspiracy. That's fact. There were machines that were falsified in this count. So there's clearly something to be questioned, and I get your point. Are you going to question Trump if he wins it? Probably not, because of. But again, there's an action to a reaction. The reaction to that is they say in many people's eyes it was stolen in the first place, right? So of course you're going to get that. So that's just like Smitty, you taking a job at ESPN and getting a big bag. They're going to say, well, he didn't get paid at a former place. Well, it's the same thing to me. Like, well, there's a reaction to an action. Rest in peace, Larry Allen. Appreciate unfortunate news that we ended with. Love the real talk banter, the barbershop banter. And make sure you follow Jeff on the Sit Down Crime Pod. He does a hell of a job. If you guys already know, a lot of people, if you followed him over there. And Jay Earn, they are facts. Go look it up, homie. You want me to pull it up for you because you're too fucking lazy to go look? That's the problem. You fucks won't look on your own, and then you want to blame us. Go look, motherfucker. Hey, Jeff, appreciate you. Smitty got to move his car. Jeff, we're this close to being in the studio. Hopefully you still make it out here in June or July. And we'll chop it up, and we'll see you Friday.
Not everything's a fucking conspiracy. Remember that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Peace, Jeff.
We'll be back tomorrow for Talk That Talk Tuesday. Make sure you're here. We'll pound the like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. We're this close to being in the studio. And shout out to everybody. Rest in peace, Compton legend, Compton Centennial legend, Division II legend, Sonoma State legend, Larry Allen. Can't believe it. I'm actually shook. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Talk That Talk Tuesday. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing.